If one wants to truly own, one must own in all games.
I am the Pwnage, bitches.
Pure
I am the
Pwnage.
bitches.
Hello.
I think we're live, man.
I think we are live. What's going
What's up,
on,
noobs?
everybody? Hey.
Just chilling.
Hey.
Ugh.
Hello.
Got a new new set here.
I think
We're chilling in. Feel free to let us know what you think.
Hey.
Put a lot of work this week into decorating this puppy. Got a new.
Yeah, we've been doing some
set
decorating,
here.
some,
We're
you
chilling
know,
in. Feel free to let us
various
know what you
things, and this is where we hang out now all the time.
think. Yep.
100%.
This is where we're gonna live. I
Yeah,
have
we've
moved
been doing some
into.
decorating, some, you know,
Where's the set?
various things. A place.
It's a place. It's in a place.
All the time.
We built it.
100%.
Where we're gonna live. Actually, mostly my cousin Lyle built it.
There's a big echo going on.
Is there?
Yeah.
Alright. It's a
Probably because
in a
you
place.
gotta kill the.
We built it. Maybe that helps. Actually, mostly my cousin Lyle built it.
There's a big echo going on.
Well, that's no good at all. Here, let's open up. There's the problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. There's no more echo.
There you go.
I can go right off the top. Well, that's great. It wouldn't have been a Pwnage stream.
If there wasn't an audio issue or something going on.
Oh, okay, there we go. Fixed. Yeah, we're huge noobs. We're street noobs. Oh my god. It was
There
too
we
much
go.
to ask to launch and have absolutely zero problems, wasn't it? Totally pimpin' pro setup today, brand new. Everything's seriously new. So there we go. We had half a minute. No problems.
It's fixed.
Fixed.
We're
We're
good.
great. Yeah.
We're
Even,
good.
I even got a new mug for this.
A new mug. It's pretty awesome, hey?
It's huge, man.
It's
It's huge.
Angry Raphael.
It has a detail that I didn't appreciate when I first bought it, which is that as you have a cold beverage in here, the condensation looks like his perspiration.
It looks like he's really intensely angry.
So you see how intense he is. He's actually sweating. He's so intense. It's my intense Raphael mug. It's pretty cool. Holds 22 ounces of non-alcoholic beverage. Absolutely amazing.
That's huge. That's a lot of
Absolutely huge.
non-booze. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So what are we doing today?
What are we doing? Well, some people might know, some people might not know that we made a movie.
Yeah, we made a movie.
And the movie's finished. It's been released. It's on Vimeo. You can download it.
Yep.
Or you can watch it today live on Twitch with everybody else watching on Twitch, because we're going to broadcast the movie in its entirety on Twitch. And yeah, hope you guys like it, especially if you haven't seen it before. But if you've seen it before, watch it again, hopefully, and enjoy.
It is the kind of movie that's made to be watched more than once.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the feedback we've gotten, a lot of the positive tweets are from people that have watched it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some people have watched it a dozen times, enjoying it more. I mean, I've watched it 50 times, and it just gets funnier for me. That lead actor guy, super talented, really funny. The
What's his name?
Writers must be great too.
Can't remember what's his name.
It's impossible to spell, but it's
Jerry?
Jared something.
Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah, that's right.
Jerry.
Jerry or Janet.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like that. So I hope some people in the chat didn't know we still existed. That's the general feedback from the Twitch tweets and the Twitch related feedback has been, oh my fucking god, I can't believe these guys are still around. Well, the truth is we weren't always around for a long period of time, but it's more like we're back. I guess it's right.
We're back.
We're back, yeah.
We're here.
Yep. We were looking
back.
around at the world of newbie gamer content, right? Just full of just complete noobs trying to be pro, and we thought, wow, there's a huge, void, right? There's this
of proness, yeah.
vacuum of proness in terms of making awesome, funny content. So we thought, hey, let's make the best movie ever. That's a great launching platform.
Yeah.
Right? People watch the movie like, wow, those guys, they've got it.
I see some people in chat are saying Jarrett and Jeff are still around. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, man. We're still around.
We're still around, and
Or we're back. One of the two. But we're still alive. And I haven't aged a day. Jeff looks a lot older, but...
I do. I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah. You're poking fun at my weight. I see.
No, what did I say?
Jeff hasn't gained any weight.
Is Kyle still a noob? Well, it's relative.
Kyle, what type of League of Legends do you like to play the most?
My favorite map is the Aram map, and I love to play Aram, which is amazing because you're fighting. There's more action. I'm not I'm not into CSing like Jared is. So
it's nothing to do with noobness.
Apparently, that's noobier.
It's the superior map.
It's just the most fun for me. It's a different game.
Hey guys, hey N1 special Kyle Myron's in the chat. Changed up the logos. They redid the whole page. People that we have a regular core group of dudes that have been paying attention to our streams over the past couple of years. As we made the movie, we've been streaming a lot, keep people updated on the movie. And they will probably notice that our Twitch page has been nicely updated. That is courtesy of Candasium and I think a little bit dreaded Cone maybe. And so thank you very much. And the set, my cousin Lau, really, who can't thank enough, spent a few days here living in this place, building this thing for us. Pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
And then Stacy for helping deck it too. Pretty cool. Yeah. And all the donators in the past stream
who paid for this set.
So I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yep.
We spent it on set.
Yeah, you literally built this.
And other stuff.
Yeah. A button panel just occurred to me I want to add. I had this thought in bed last night, and I forgot to add it, but we should have a panel for a mailing address.
Because no one knows how to send us email. Or you mean like how to send us stuff?
Stuff.
Oh,
stuff.
Real stuff.
Because on the last stream, there's a gentleman named Hexploitation from Norway who sent us some chocolates from Norway, which we ate on stream.
What were they called again?
Smash. And I know this because I smashed for breakfast the next morning and they were gone. That is, my breakfast was coffee and Smash, so thanks, Exploitation. I had a whole day of terrible guilt and stomach pinching for you. And then just today, I was talking to someone on Twitter that owns a maple tree farm in Northern Ontario.
Oh my god!
And for a living, they make maple syrup.
Oh.
And she said, "Hey, do you have a mailing address? I'd love to send you some syrup. What's your preferred darkness?"
Darkest possible.
Of course, you would say darkest. Why is it the sweetest, or is that's the most bitter?
It's
right?
the most mapley flavor.
Okay.
Like the lighter stuff is sweeter, but if you want the mapleness of the maple syrup, go for the darker stuff. And there's some amazing No. 3 dark organic maple syrup from the Big Carrot in Toronto that is my favorite maple syrup in the whole world.
Nice.
But I would love to see what these guys can do with their maple trees.
Well, they're pretty into it, man.
Yeah?
It's what they do. So I gave her our P.O. Box number, which we're going to make a panel for at some point.
Nice.
I've just remembered at this moment. And then you can send us. And I told her, hey, we'll have it on stream.
Why not do a taste test?
We will taste test. I want to taste test everything on stream. It all started with the Lay's chips, but it's going to snowball from there. Then Smash, soon maple syrup. So if you got something you want us to eat on stream,
or where
that's not a human byproduct, we'll do it. Pretty much, right? That's because
only tree byproducts.
Because that's illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only like maple syrup from Vermont or Canada. No specific province, huh? All right, fine.
It's all right. I only like presidential candidates from Vermont. Ooh, how quickly we get into politics.
No, there will be no politics today. No politics today.
Speaking of maple syrup,
okay.
Unless you had something pressing.
Nope, I had nothing pressing in my life.
When we were, and this is a segue into something else I want to talk about. So when we were in London, we had dinner with some people at Twitch. And we ordered some drinks at a very fancy place, and they made these old fashions, which is a classic cocktail, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I went home and I started like making my own old fashions with the bitters and but instead of simple syrup or sugar, I used maple syrup. So it's like a Canadian old fashioned instead of American whiskey.
Well, I had one there with maple syrup. You're telling like this original.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
recall?
And
they maple syrup, some bacon.
They made them with maple syrup. So, I think maple syrup is amazing in old fashions. I'd love to make an old fashioned with this maple syrup that we're talking about from these people. Anyway, next time you're at my place, Gerald, I'll make you an old fashioned, and we'll see if we can recreate the amazing memories.
Dude,
we had
for sure. The maple
with
syrup
Twitch
really
people
worked.
in London.
Yeah,
it was really good. It really adds the complexity.
So we just
of the
need
flavor.
to add the Super Pro steak, and we're good to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the Canadian whiskey, if you have the Canadian whiskey, it makes it more Canadian with the maple syrup. So anyway, I'm into old fashions now, I guess, because of Twitch. And also because of Twitch, we are on the main page. I think now we might be, or we're going to be. We might be right now on the main page, featured. And it's because of some really awesome people who we should thank. And I even wrote it down just to make sure that we don't mess up their names. But, there's Phil at Twitch, who's awesome. Yep. Jimmy and Ben, also from Twitch, who are really awesome. And they helped us out, get the stream together. They're helping us out with promoting it. They did a blog post, all that kind of stuff. And they're really excited to see the movie again, because Phil was at the premiere in London and was super digging the movie. And he's like, guys, you guys should put it on Twitch. So we did.
We did. They're actually directly influencing of this happening. It wasn't the best English I've ever busted out.
They have something to do with this happening.
You know what? I forgot to restart a stream label session. There we go. I just restarted it now. So sorry about that to anyone that it was someone Heisberg or something had just donated. But Hexploitation 1337 was still in the bottom from the last stream. No one's gonna top that. It's not fair.
Well, Myron just gets screwed out of his
exactly. So Myron, thank you for the $5, man. Says he loves the new stream location. Also, hello, thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Heisenberg Blue says feel like I'm at the movies. Everyone give $5 for PP. I totally agree with that sentiment. Really, everybody should.
If everyone did $5, that would be a lot of dollars.
I like dollars too. Dollars are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hex is a maniac, man.
Hexploitation is the guy who sent us the Smash, isn't he?
He did. He sent us that Smash that arrived during the stream where he was buying this set.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. It was all very weird. It was a really trippy day.
Wow.
That was the movie launch day.
Have we got Revlo running?
Sorry, Daleberg. Daleberg, man. Daleberg. There we go. Multiple name drops. Because I hit restart session after you subscribe, so the latest subscriber does not say Daleberg. Really sorry about that, dude. But I love you, Daleberg.
Now, do we have Revlo going on? A little bit of Revlo happening?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Revlo, man. I can make that happen. I can do that. You just got to entertain. 2 seconds here. Check this out.
These guys greater than less than carrot.
Yeah, so much to do today was a bit overwhelming. A bit scary. Had to admit, had a tough time sleeping last night.
This is exciting. We're doing new stuff, and we're doing it different than before and awesomer.
Anyways, Revlo's on. There we go.
Nice. Revlo's on. You guys can collect your ownage points.
Yeah, getting your ownage points now, man. Is Revlo. Got a few rewards. We'll add more rewards in the future when we have time to sit down and plan some awesome rewards. So, but get them lulls, and then you'll get some rewards. Nice. Hey, bot.
Nice.
So our schedule today is at some point we're gonna play the movie.
Thanks for the movie.
Right. I made it vague in the mail out. I said, hey, sometime around 3:30. Should probably stick roughly around that, I suppose. Probably better to play the movie first and then
talk about it after.
And then chat afterwards, so that all people that just don't give a shit about us don't have to hang around going, where the fuck's the movie, right? Jeff's using my computer.
That's
this
right.
left-handed motherfucker's messing with my shit. Oh! Let's probably keep the language down.
Messing with your S.
I like people touching my computer, man. There's Wave Demon. Thank you, man. Oak Warrior donated 561. Calendar $20. Missed that hippie $20. Oh my god. Oh my god. Pirate X Core 1337. Crazy. Really, thank you, dudes. Hey, did you know something too?
Watching the movie
Right here, I'll show you.
again.
You can
Got
read this up.
some
But
friends who used
someone
to watch
donated
the
5
web
days after
series
our last
watching the
stream.
Long
We
live
were
the
not
king.
live at this moment. It was 5 days after last stream, so probably a few days ago. It was 5 days ago. You two are like the hottest guys on
Main
Twitch.
page height,
Really?
less than 3.
Ooh.
Mommy
Mars
like-
Bar 305.
Yeah.
Mommy likey. Oh.
Yeah. So that's random. I guess I didn't know that happens, but I guess when people are watching VODs, sometimes they get so excited they or maybe she thought it would pop up during the VOD and she's like, oh shit, this isn't live. That's possible too.
I see. I
She's wondering where her
see.
name. Why aren't these guys responding to my questions in chat? She's wondering, as she watches the VOD 5 days ago. But if you're out there, Mars Bar, thanks, and I appreciate comments like that. Feels good. Feels good, man.
We try to be hot, you know. We try to be.
I do. Oh, Grimgor says he's got this mug too. The
Oh, yeah?
perspiring Raphael. This has quickly become my favorite mug. It's a bit heavy, but
It looks great.
It does.
I love it. He's
Yeah.
like
It's great.
such an expressive face. Like he's. Oh, there we go. There's a big donation there. A big bunch of text.
Hey guys,
Yeah, pops up here.
old-time
Tocom.
fan
Hey guys,
here.
old time fan here. Super happy to see you guys back. I stayed up until 3 a.m. to watch day
I
one.
stayed up until 3
Super happy to see
a.m.
something
to
I worked
watch
on
it
in your
day
movie.
one.
Was hype
Super
as
happy
F.
to see something
Crucible
I
for the
worked
win.
on in your movie.
Shoutouts to Joe
Was
Winter
hype
in the
as
chat.
fuck.
Sweet.
Crucible FTW.
And Norvin, thanks for the great times
Shout
watching
out
the show and
to
helping
Joe
me and my friends
Winter
get
in
through
the chat.
deployment. Oh, dude. Thank you, man.
Cheers.
Thanks
Oh
for the
wow,
great
movie or
times
riot,
watching
movie or
your
riot. Well,
show
how about
and
riot?
helping me and
What are you guys gonna
friends
do?
get
How are you
through
gonna riot
deployment.
through the internet? You're really gonna riot?
Yeah, they're going to hashtag some
You-
ISIS. Bernie
You're,
Sanders.
you're gonna get banned from the chat if you riot. I don't know.
We'll start the movie in 6 minutes, right? 3:30. We'll be on the ball.
6
6 minutes,
minutes.
man. 6 minutes. I can
6
put a
minutes.
counter up, but I don't want to do that. I just want to sit here and enjoy my new set.
It's nice and comfortable.
Yeah, I got a pillow on my butt.
Loving the
Did
new
you?
setup.
Yeah,
guys.
no, that's why I look so short
Oh,
because I don't have a
it
Jared's
must
pillow.
only be that pillow.
It must only be
couldn't
nothing to
possibly
do with the
be-
dimensions of my body at all.
Yeah, nothing at all. Sweet. Oh man, Trudeau. Yeah, you see that vicious elbow?
Oh, elbow gate. Yes.
Yeah, elbow. I didn't want to. Did you actually see the video though?
I did. Yeah.
Of the non-elbow?
yeah.
Of the like, hey, excuse me. Ah!
Yeah. It's like a soccer.
That was some
match.
soccer
It's
moment.
like football
Yeah, football. Yeah.
to the Europeans.
Nice. Like Forcewood says, we tour looking like Rhett and Link. I'll take that as a compliment, man.
Hey, man.
Too
They're,
sexy.
they're good looking guys.
Two sexy dudes in an awesome set. Damn.
Damn. Exactly. Yeah, guys. So what else can we talk about in this? We got
No
5 minutes before we're
swearing.
showing the movie.
5 minutes. Okay.
Present XD. Love
Should
from
we talk
Minneapolis,
about?
less
Is
than
it maybe
3.
it's a too long of a story, but we could talk about when we showed it at Riot Games because I don't think we ever told that story.
No?
No, when we did a movie tour and we went, a bunch of theaters in the U.S. We went to London, we went around Canada, and we showed the movie in sort of test screenings all around the world. But I think one of the most interesting screenings was when we went to the Riot Games headquarters and showed it in their own on-campus movie theater. And Rob Garrett was the guy sort of hosting us around, and Justin Kranzel was also there, and they were very kind to us. They gave us a tour of the campus, which was absolutely amazing. They have a falconer. They have to control the rodents. They have a falconer
Yeah.
in their courtyard area. You know, they've got everything. They've got like a coffee bar, and they've got, like a juice bar. They've got, a restaurant on campus. And like, it's amazing. It's an amazing place to work. Everything's free, by the way, to eat. And their coffee bar is done up like Gangplank, theming like a pirate theme. Like, it's really well done. There's a lot of great artists that work there, obviously, and make their workplace
Top the
really nice.
donations again.
And
exploitation.
yeah, it was really neat to watch the movie and to hear where the laughs were with people who are really immersed in the gaming world and obviously in League of Legends, and they laughed at all the really in gaming jokes. But they for the most part really enjoyed the movie, and we got some good feedback from them. But it was really neat that that we I think the highlight was when we met the founders of Riot Games.
That's right.
And do you remember?
I do, yeah. It was Mark Merrill and Luke Skywalker, the two founders of Riot Games. Maybe I'm mixing up one of them. No, it's pretty cool. We met them. They were super chill guys. And then about 20 minutes later, we met another writer. And we were like, yeah, we just came from like the founder's office. And we just chit-chat for a bit. And he's like, I've worked here for 2 years. I haven't shook their hands yet. Oh, I've never met them yet. I was like,
he's like, you guys met the founders? I've been working here for 3 years. I've never met them. And it's like, wow, it was really...
Back to the campus, though, I have to admit.
Yeah.
It was probably the most inspiring place of work I'd ever been. I've been to some inspiring places, say, artistically, sitting on the edge of a cliff overlooking the ocean, thinking about your life. There's that level of inspiring. And then you're at your place of work, and you work at a place like that. It really did blow my mind. And it regularly was crossing my mind as I walked around that, like, I should quit everything I'm doing in my life and apply for a job here.
Just drop off
like,
a resume.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I should, I'm doing the wrong thing with my life. It was really that cool. I want to get quickly here because they're going to literally scroll off. Just to thank D. Baker, who loves the new set of Man 13-7, Mania 112, who says, why was there no micro battles? And the Master, disappointing to be missing half the story from web series. Okay, this guy's already seen the movie. He's bumming us out. But I'll get... Well, you know what? After the movie, dude, remind me in chat, and we'll totally talk about that stuff. I'd love to. I just, like, before we watch the movie, a lot of people haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. SP3 Flip says, no swearing, kids present, love from Minneapolis. Sorry, dude, no more swearing. It's all S's and D's and F's from here on out. BS's maybe a couple times. My face, Pwnage, Pirate X Core, top donations again, Hexploitation. Hexploitation, I'll send you
get some more breakfast.
Oh, what a shock! In comes Mr. Hex. And Single White Girl really likes John Madden. Appreciate that. And they should be working. I'm hoping you're getting the sounds. Jeff made a bunch of cool new sounds for donations.
We got new donation alert sounds. Are they? I hope they're working.
I hope you guys are noticing some different sounds out there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Some different sounds. We're 1 minute away from the movie.
We are.
Yeah.
We could just play it early, you know.
We could. I can move over here. I'll get this window up. Want to make sure everything's okay. Don't want to be messing around. Why are there three? That's not good. Here we go. Okay, good. Everything's...
Jared's getting the movie all prepped for y'all.
It's locked and loaded. It's ready to go. I just don't want anything to go wrong. That's all I want. Nothing to go wrong. Don't like wrong. Well, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
This will be a rare thing for us so far, Pwnage. This is, we could be early. We could be 1 minute early and rock this movie. Movie's 91 minutes long, okay? Mm-hmm. And you want to watch the very end. You want to read all of the credits, because a lot of people helped make this movie. And
you might be in the credits.
You might be in the credits, although probably not if you've never heard of us or haven't given us money in the last 4 years. But you never know. You never know. There's a couple random names in there. And
that's right.
Ready? Ready?
Ready. All right, guys, enjoy the movie.
Enjoy the movie. Okay, here, let me just... What?
That was the movie. That was the movie. What do you guys think? That was the movie.
That was the movie.
We showed you the whole movie.
Slide over here. I'm gonna close this.
That was a long fade to black. That was the end of the movie, and
yeah, that's how we do. That's how we do with the long fades to black. Man, I just want to say off the top. So we watched the movie with you in the other room, in my living room, in a living room that is nowhere near this set, and I watched it with my mom and my brother and my baby mama and my kids and Jeff, and that's it. But we all sat down, we watched it together, and we watched it with Twitch chat open, and I think that might have been one of the most enjoyable watches of the movie, if not the most enjoyable watch I've ever had of Pwnage's movie. And having seen it like dozens of times behind the scenes to get the thing ready, I was laughing my ass off at you guys. Wow, did Twitch chat crack me up. Absolutely loved it, man. Had such a good time watching it. Thank you
Yeah, guys, thanks for being in the chat and reacting, and all the comments were very enjoyable. You could tell some people had seen it before, some people hadn't, and
Some people had their comments prepped. I could tell. I'm like,
did,
that was
yeah.
too soon.
for the right moment.
Little too
That
quick,
was a lot
man.
of
No one
typing
types
real
that
quick.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, it was so funny. So we real time decided as we watched this, and we're laughing our ass off, not so much at the movie that we've seen 400 times, but at you watching the movie, many of you who have not seen it, that I think we're going to bring our DVD Blu-ray commentary to the next level.
Yes. You know how there's director's commentary and producers commentary,
And we'll have that.
So we're gonna have that on the
Oh, yeah,
DVD.
that's
but,
totally on the Blu-ray, yeah.
But we decided we should do have a play option on the Blu-ray for the Twitch chat.
Twitch chat.
So
Twitch
if you want to
commentary.
watch it with the Twitch chat, which you guys participated in,
Yeah.
you might be on the Blu-ray. All of your amazing words that you
Yeah.
typed.
So we're gonna go back. We're gonna record the chat as it happened, and we're gonna add that to the Blu-ray as the Twitch chat commentary, which is alongside the directors and producers commentary, because it's actually great. It's really funny, and it's just it's really so modern. It's really the state of where we're at as a species and how we communicate globally, real time. Twitch is at the forefront, right? The whole Twitch chat, as brutal and harsh as it can be. Free
Sometimes.
speech sucks sometimes, man. It really does. But in this case, it worked out. I was digging it. I was really digging it, and I thought, even though there's the odd hater, it still adds to the flair of it all, to the scope of it all. It's great. Really enjoyed it. So we're gonna throw it out there, man. Twitch commentary on the DVD, on the Blu-ray, because that was great. Raphael salutes, man.
That was actually the biggest screening we have had ever. I think I think before that we had 700 people at the Bloor Cinema watching it live in Toronto, and we had some other big theaters that we filled up. But 4,000 people are watching. Over 4,000 at its peak.
Yep.
That's a lot of people watching. We kind of imagined it as being like a bunch of people in a theater, enjoying it at the same time, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So that was an exciting experience for us to see that number climb.
Yep. A 4,000 person theater, which would be a ginormous theater. That's sports stadium size at that point.
Yeah.
But who are allowed to talk during the movie?
Yes.
Who are allowed to all caps scream during the movie? It's a very unique social environment, and it cracked me up, man. I laughed more at Twitch chat than the movie, But I've seen the movie a lot, so the movie's funnier than the Twitch chat. I'm just saying it made that watch number 372 really special for me, and my family too.
Yeah, guys. So after we screen the movie, sometimes we do a Q&A. Maybe we do that right now. And we read the Twitch chat, and we can read some Q's and give some A's.
Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, we'll do our best to address them. In the meantime, there wasn't much that happened to the movie, so let's see. There was PPP Bus Doot says Forced Wits was our donator during the movie, and then Ormus Masla Nakuzal S14A, that's an odd name.
Cheers.
And Ant Venom, of course, Ant Venom. Cheers.
Mr. Ant Venom has
4 minutes
subbed.
ago, Ant Venom, who we have met in real life. Oh, Dreaded Cone subscribes.
Oh, of course.
Oh, you don't have to do that. If I could give you. Thank you, Dreaded Cone. Thank you, Ken Dajim, if you're watching with him, for helping pimp our stream today.
He did. He's a brilliant artist.
It was actually mostly Ken Dajim, I think. That
Really?
Yeah, I think it kind of was.
Oh, yeah? Is he taking some credit?
I kind of
from
approached
Ken
Dreaded
Dajim?
Cone. He's like, I'm going to subcontract this work.
Yeah.
And I think he subcontracted the work. But thank you, Candace. Really great. I think it really improved the experience today. And, oh, yeah. Woo! Or the girl, man. Yeah, loving it. I was pretty worried, because last week on Twitch there was that incident in Hearthstone tournament, and I was like, oh, God. I got so scared showing the movie. I was like, oh, God. What if it's nothing but hate throughout? But it was really, really positive and really cool. So,
People dug it.
people dug it,
We
man.
dig that.
Yeah, pretty happy. And now I'm just enjoying my Raphael carried.
Was the
non-alcoholic
league
beverage.
footage taken from high elo games or was it scripted? That's a question. So
It was both, right? So there was a script for the gameplay, for most of the gameplay. There's a few moments that are like whatever, and then we handed that off to our machinima makers who made most of the league machinima. Some of it I did myself for the stuff that didn't require high-end play, but that's all high diamond play in the movie. That's all recordings from high diamond elo games where at least 5 of the players, sometimes 10, were in the game to script a specific point of action, which is very difficult to do, right? It's easy to have amazing moments happen naturally. When you play 100 games, you're going to have these gold moments happen, and you take the clip, you put it on Reddit. But in a script, when you have this gold moment, it's actually pretty hard to coordinate and create those kind of moments. So big thanks to Lollipop Creations, who was our go-to machinima team, which was just a couple of guys from Norway and their friends, which really, really helped us out throughout the movie. So cheers, guys. Thank you so much. They came to the London screening. We got to meet them.
They were there. We got to hang out with them, and it was a real good time. You know, they worked hard on it, and we cut their footage in, and ended up working really well because it's hard to get 10 people together and to act something out in League of Legends when you're a certain level and a certain items that you've built and all that. It takes time and a lot of patience and a lot of League knowledge. So we were happy they were there to help us out.
Yeah, it was important. Also, quickly before I get to donations, Riot helped us out a lot too. Obviously, from the get-go, as we were in the earliest script writing phases, we needed to get clearance on certain games that we were going to write into the script. Now, a lot of the games, it could have been this or that. The guys behind Rocket League Psionics, they're amazing. Now, we didn't write the movie around Rocket League, but we wanted to include Rocket League footage because we play and we like it, and we wanted to include audio of Rocket League, so we wrote them. Super chill company, like, cool. Valve. Even though CSGO in the story actually has quite a big impact, the way the way as it relates to Doug, and that is his go-to game that he's always pulled towards that in TF2. Like, Doug is an FPS player. We needed to have him anchored around an FPS game, and we didn't want to use anything other than Counter-Strike Go or TF2. So Valve, again, awesome. It was like, yeah, go nuts, do that. But Riot, because the big obstacle for Jeremy in the film, in the epic nature of the film itself, is that he has to overcome his inability to work with others and his inability to work in a team environment. We really wanted to put him in a team-dependent game, so it made most sense to be a MOBA because CS, if you are theoretically in Storyland the best CS player in the world, you can 1v5. But honestly, if anyone that plays MOBAs understands that even if you're the best player in the world, you're a faker. If you're put with 4 bronze scrubs, you're totally doomed against even a silver team. There's nothing you can do. So we reached out to Riot because we both play League, and they were amazing at every step of the process, helping us out and giving feedback on our script and how realistic what we're asking for was and what we're doing in the script was, and they're pretty cool.
Very cool. Someone's asking, how did Kyle teleport at the end when he was going from the cab with Doug back to the stage? And that is something it's a really interesting question because it's a rare question. In fact, many people like to point out inconsistencies in movies, and there's inconsistencies in every movie, like Jeremy forgetting his cell phone in our movie when he leaves the Korean Land Cafe. That stuff kind of happens, and people jumped on a lot of different inconsistencies, but the intention with Kyle at the end being able to film Doug and be on the stage is you're supposed to be so into the movie at that point that you don't really notice. And I think that we got most of the people in that they didn't care about it. But if you really want to ask within the universe what is the deal with that, well, Mike, the new director, got hired as a B camera and is the guy. If you really want an answer that is consistent with reality. But we knew at the script phase, Kyle doesn't usually teleport. He doesn't usually change position and move around the room, let alone the world. So yeah, it's supposed to be something that you don't really notice, and you're too into the movie for it to bring you out of the fiction. But there's always some sort of suspension of disbelief in any movie that you're watching, right? Anyway, that's the best answer I can give.
Yep, there's some questions scrolling off. I don't want to miss them. Holy crap. How many script rewrites were there before we were satisfied? I think we wrote for over a year and a half. And the movie, from its original conception, which is us at a concept level with a couple of pages of notes thinking about what the movie's going to be, is pretty much entirely different than what it ended up being. It was rewritten and condensed. And what we realized at the start, concept-wise, we had a lot of great concepts. We're like, oh yeah, let's do this, and then the story, and we'll have this, and we'll bring this character, and we'll do this. And it sounds amazing until you get to the outline stage. You get to the, when you start getting the early writing stages and you start fleshing out these storylines and go, wait a minute, this is a 9-hour movie. We can't have, literally 7/9 of this film in the film. And that's when that's when it starts getting hard, because what's more valuable than the other? What stories do you cut? Which do you keep in? Is it all right to have so little Doug and so little Dave, so little Tadgy? Is it okay to not make reference to some of the past web series stuff? It has been 6 years since we've met these characters. So originally we wanted to fill in a lot of those gaps, explain what happened, how did Jeremy get to where he was at, etc., etc. But then at the end of the day, you need to make a 90 minutes that's concise and dense and tells a great story. And anything that we can leave out that we can go back to later is great. That's fantastic, because it leaves a lot up in the air for future content, which we intend to address in future content. But hopefully that particular 90 minutes was a solid story that kept you engaged, and it didn't bother you too much while you're watching it that there's a lot of other stuff we could have talked about, because that just actually gives us a lot of writing freedom in the future when we want to go back to Pwnage.
That's right. Lots of stuff on the cutting room floor, as they say in the script phase.
In fact, relevant, how come Athene was in the movie after all? Was he planned to be in it? We did plan to have Athene in it. There was actually several. We wanted to put together, as a part of the Jeremy Gaming montage, have a bunch of footage from prominent community members. But at the end of the day, it couldn't really work out. It was very difficult to make all of the different footages and all the different resolutions and all the different qualities and the missing this and that to make it cohesive. And so we made a tough decision to leave it out instead of possibly compromising, I think, the consistency and quality of the scene. But Athene has actually been really great. Particularly, Athene has been really, really great with us. So we're sorry that his clip did not make the final cut. And I expect, though, in the future that...
Hopefully we can film with Athene in person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's solutions to this problem.
We go to Belgium,
Yeah. I'll go to Belgium, man. Never been to Belgium. Yeah, I would love to go to Belgium. If you ask questions about Mayo Productions and I have an answer, then you can just keep asking. That's actually the best way than me trying to scroll back. Yeah, this one. Did Monty, Ocelot, Chobra, etc. know you prior and asked to be in the movie, or did you ask them? So Monty and Deman and Sean, Apollo and Susie Kim, they're all fans of Pwnage. And we go back a long, long, long way. And some of them expressed interest in being in the show, or some of them I approached after hearing they were fans of the show and were delighted to be a part of the show. Chobra, I think when I met Chobra, didn't actually know what the hell Pwnage was, but he's actually just such a nice dude. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey man, would you mind staying up till like 5 a.m, even though you work till 12 and you got to be up at 8 to help us out with this movie? He's like, yeah, sure. Like, he was just such an awesome guy. Ocelot, I don't think knew Pwnage beforehand, but I worked with Ocelot at the IM shows, at least 3 or 4 shows prior to us filming Katowice, and we just got along really, really well off camera. He's actually a really, really funny guy and a really chill guy, and we just became friends. So when we were making the movie, I said, hey dude, we were looking for this new guy thing. We wanted to have new guy be a subtle cameo, but and this actually addresses a different question that hasn't been asked specifically right now, but has been asked a lot, is why are there 2 new guys? Why are there 2 actors? Well, it's because half of new guy's stuff is shot in a studio in Toronto, and the other half is shot live on stage in Katowice, Poland. And a lot of the shots in Katowice, Poland have me in them as well. So I thought that Carlos, Ocelot, happened to look enough like me that if we were to put fake beards on both our asses and put a toque on both our asses and maybe some glasses, that on just at a glance you may not notice the difference. And it was proven when my mom, who for the first time watched the film, did not notice the difference.
She thought it was you in both scenes.
She did think it was me, and I had to point out that sorry, she did not think
She
it was
thought it
me
was
in
someone
either
other
scene.
than you.
Yes.
Okay,
She's like, it is someone other than me in both scenes. So I told him like, no, that's actually me in the first scene. So whatever. So that's why. But yes, every one of the cameos in the film was either a fan of Pwnage and liked what we worked on, or was someone who I met working with ESL and IEM, and we became friends, and then was in the film.
Yep. Someone's asking, were those your real balls?
Those were not my real balls.
No, it's prop balls.
Those were prop balls
Made by our props guy.
made by our props guy,
Pull up the
and
dick balls.
and the number of dick balls in the movie is still up in the air. You can pay attention to our subreddit. I think they're counting. They're up to 3 sets of dick balls found in the film, and they're going back to the web series now, realizing how many dick balls are hidden everywhere.
Yep.
But those are fake balls, nylon stockings with a couple of weird balls, and those are going to Michał Blihach.
Bleehaw, yes. Miho,
Carmack from the ESL
Carmack.
is getting those balls.
because he's a backer on Indiegogo.
Yeah, he's an Indiegogo backer entitled to a prop, and we decided we had a big team meeting and decided which props go where, and we decided Carmack gets the balls. So Carmack will get the balls.
I love it. I hope he wears them openly.
I
Just
hope
like,
so.
Like it's one
Yeah.
of those sacks, you know,
He should, like a fanny pack.
fanny pack.
It's a
yeah.
fanny
just-
balls.
It just has your balls, just in case anyone wanted to know if you have balls.
Carmack's got the balls incoming.
Nice. That's great.
Have we considered playing each of the web series episodes on Twitch? Yes. In fact, we considered doing that this week leading up to this event, but we got so overwhelmed with work leading up to this stream, including but not limited to building this set and subtitling the movie and redesigning the entire Twitch page and doing everything else, that we decided to just focus on this particular stream and do the rest later. So there's actually some big plans for the channel, including showing the web series in sort of marathon fashion, including new content. And maybe one day when we claw back the rights, the TV
the
show.
television series.
Yeah, hey man, it's
That's
not far
in
off.
the next year. And next year we'll be putting the television series online.
Yep.
Yeah, guys. Any chances of us live streaming some games? Not today, because we don't really have it set up for that. But in the future, of course, we love gaming on stream, and yeah, big plans.
Captain Magnus, why no Matthew Lewis in the movie? What an odd question.
Well, I think we might have
We must have
talked about
this
it in the past, you know, and how we wrote him into a script for the television series for season 2, which never
happened.
never happened. But
Again, I'm going to put that in the going to happen eventually category, where we want to work together, but could not make it happen for logistical reasons for this particular production.
yep.
But we'll put that in the eventually can happen. In fact, I just saw he was in a movie with Amelia Clark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Daenerys Targaryen. He posted
nice.
some shots on Facebook I was quite jealous of.
Oh,
There's some
he's
kind
acting in a movie.
Well, of course he's acting. With Amelia Clark, no less. Did we miss any? Hold on. Mr. Wallet donated $13.37. Says, "Dude, that movie was so much better than I ever expected.
Ooh,
I'm
thank
amazed
you.
at how you guys managed to pull off bringing the characters into the 2010s and feel relevant. The film also had awesome pacing arc. Congratulations on a great film."
Awesome.
Wow, man.
Thank you so much. man.
Congratulations on a great comment that makes me feel good. Tatsumi says, "Love the new layout of everything. Background looks great. Everything looks great. Thanks, dude." Tatsumi's a regular. Appreciate that. This is our new background, man. We're going to keep tweaking it. You might notice, if you're an astute observer, week after
We
week,
change things here and there.
we're probably going to keep updating and adjusting and pimping out the set here. But this is the alpha version of the new
V1.0.
Pwnage set. Yeah, man.
It's pretty good 1.0.
Task Wizard movie was very entertaining. Thank you guys. Elite donation. Uberman, keep up the ownage. Elite donation. Biohazard. So glad I backed the movie. Here, have more of my Netherlands monies.
I love your Netherlands money.
Thank you,
man.
Biohazard. And the 561 suggests he did donate Netherlands monies. I don't know how much Netherlands monies equals 561.
561 is a weird number otherwise.
Yeah. And John Madden. What's with John Madden?
Why? Can someone explain to us in chat what John Madden's all
Don't
about?
worry, I didn't notice Kyle's ability to apparate. That's
Nice.
Yeah, we've had a lot of John Madden in the chat, and I know I'm old, but I think I'm pretty in touch. Just wondering, did I miss something last week? The John Maddens? I
don't know. So there's a lot of questions about us having babies of people that,
Will you have my babies?
I don't know.
Pics? It's not
I
out of the question.
can't have babies.
Yeah.
I can participate in the making of
Sorry,
babies.
I cannot
but
have your babies, but if you would like my babies.
It suggests that the babies are
pics,
pre-made babies.
Yeah, pics and brief bio, and we'll take it from there. Someone said, I haven't received my loot pack. Noobstore@pureownage.com, and that goes for any if you are entitled to a movie download coupon because you're an Indiegogo supporter and you haven't received it. Everything Noobstore@pureownage. They've all been sent out. I believe all the loot packs have been sent out, so it's possible that there was something wrong with your address or email or something like that.
Yep.
So noobstore@pureownage.com.
And while we're talking about Pwnage, if you like the movie and want to buy it, go to pureownage.com. And,
That's true. That's true.
And you can watch it again and again, and show it to your friends, and then show it to your mom, and then show it to your girlfriend, and she'll be like, "What is this?" And you'll be like, "No, it's good. Trust me." And then she'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay. Thanks for showing me that awesome movie."
Yeah, you can download in 360p, 540p, 720p, 1080p,
4K. You can if you have a 4K monitor or television, you
and
can
whatever's
watch the movie
between
in
those
4K.
two. There's a 2K or something. But
There's a
people do that
2K,
too,
yeah.
It's everything, and it's worth it, man. It actually, and I'm not saying this because I made it, but it really is better on the second watch, and then gets a slightly bit better on the third. But by the fourth, it levels off.
You'll notice new stuff.
But you will always notice new stuff. There's, and in fact, by the way, we debuted subtitles today. This was the debut of the Pure subtitles. These will be coming to Vimeo soon in the next week. And then shortly after, they'll be going out to our community where we are going to solicit your gracious labor to help us translate this into as many languages as possible to put it on our DVDs and Blu-rays that we're going to make in the next month. So as I watched the subtitles tonight, I realized it does add a lot to the movie. So for a lot of people that have already seen the movie a few times, like watching the subtitles and picking up on the little things, because a lot of the lines, they happen really quickly, and you may not hear what the characters exactly are saying, or you think you know, but you don't actually. It's a whole new
People are saying they liked it better on the second watch.
Absolutely, man.
You got to watch it twice at least.
It's a second watch movie, man. We're not,
It's like the Big Lebowski. Like it gets better and better the more you watch it.
Exactly. Well, that was the intention anyway.
Yeah, well, we tried, but it's not going to be as good as the Big Lebowski, obviously. Sorry if it's cutting into our sales. saying that.
I know if you only got $20, it's a close call. But you won't go wrong with either. Wheeze, oh wow, Kaze00000 donated lead, says heart. Thank you, dude. Heart, man. Wheeze says, dear Jeremy, I think I like boys more than girls, but I'm afraid of people making fun of me if I express how I really feel.
Oh, just tell them. It's 2016.
Dude,
just tell them.
It's 2016, man. Just go make out with some boys, and if it feels right, run with it, dude. And then F the haters. What are you gonna do?
They can go F themselves.
They can go F themselves.
In their
right?
A's.
Yep. 2016. Enjoy them boys.
Thanks for the amazing birthday present. Was a fun watch. More Netherlands money.
Thank you, Ajaz Gajagja.
That sounds like someone face rolled their keyboard.
Yeah, that's a bit of a
That's
a name right there. 1122, definitely some Netherlands monies. Yeah.
You are a fadge. That's what people are writing in chat.
I'm a fadge.
I think they're quoting the web series.
Jeremy, do you still mess with WoW? No, I do not mess with WoW. I stay away. Not to say that you shouldn't, but my personality type is very addictive, and I need to win at anything I do. So I avoid time investment equals win games and stick to skill equals win games. And I feel I'm a much happier person.
Did you hear that all of the expansions are now free?
No.
Yeah, it happened like a couple days ago, right? Can someone confirm in chat? All of the World of Warcraft expansions are now free because they're launching the new expansion. So you can just download for free, and then you can get a level boost up to whatever the new level cap is, or minus whatever leveling you have to do in the new expansion. They just made them all free.
Couple of things. First, Riven or Rivixin. I think it's Riven. You just the X is an E. Says hi, donated lead. Thank you so much, Riven. Couple of questions. How did your writing process for the movie differ from your writing process from the web series back in the day?
Excellent question.
Very good question. And I would say, for one, the web writing series was very different in that it was unbelievably freeform, which often involved Jeff and I pacing around a room and laughing, having a couple of beers, thinking about what we're going to do, and going into shooting, going into set, which was really almost nobody else. It's not like sets, a whole cast of people or a crew of people, with a page or two of here's how we come into a scene, here's how we leave a scene, here's the major beats that need to be hit, here's how we move forward, and just let the actors go and just like have a bunch of improvisation, make sure we get out at the scenes. Then we moved into the TV show, which was here's a couple of writers you never met before in your life who have a ton of credentials. You're going to work together with them, and you are going to script every millisecond of the film so that we know beforehand exactly how it's going to turn out before you ever turn on the camera. And then we have the movie, which is, I suppose, a blend of the two. It's certainly not the original web series. We did have a crew, we had a script, and we had to stay to it, but we had a little bit more freedom. So for us, it came back to just Jeff and I in a room, which was very nice. A lot of rooms, a lot of solo, coming back together, walking, pacing around a room, throwing ideas off each other, and slowly trying to craft the film, which we kind of crafted chronologically. Went sort of through Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3, and put it all together. But I guess the biggest difference, if I had to pick one difference, is that in the web series, we just didn't give... We had no idea really what we were doing. We were such noobs back then as writers, directors, actors, everything, is that we just thought, hey, this would make a good episode. Well, by the time we came to the movie, we're like, okay, well, we have a lot of experience behind us. We're professionals now. We should probably learn how to write a movie. Let's buy some books on movie writing. Let's think about writing a movie. Let's make sure it's structured properly, because we want to make sure that if anyone who knows anything about how a movie should be watches this, they think, oh, that's a good movie. Not like there's a bunch of kids on the internet that made some garbage.
Well, you know, like a movie is an art form that's different from television, that's different from a web series. So we literally had to learn how to write a movie because we'd never done it before. And if we hadn't done that and sort of structured it around, you know, a classic 3-act structure, you know, that is typically found in films, it wouldn't have felt like a movie to an average viewer. You would have watched it and been like, that was a long episode, right? Or you would have said like, it didn't really, you know, it doesn't feel like the web series because it's a movie. It's a different art form. And, you know, it has to feel like a movie. It has to have the big stakes, has to have the, you know, the right beats to it, ups and downs, and you have to feel like you're pretty far from where you started. And of course, in our movie, as in most movies, the protagonist is very, very distant from where they started out. And there's a whole bunch of other things going on in the structure and in the storytelling, but we really wanted it to be the Pwnage movie, which is why we had the big crowd scenes, the big tournament scenes, the world travel, all that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, the feedback we've gotten so far is that we pulled it off. I think that's the Pwnage movie. It's not a long episode. So we had to learn how to do that. That was to answer your question with the writing process, we literally read books on writing movies, the classic, and then, you know, took our experience and applied it to the movie.
It's a very different thing,
yeah.
Making a movie versus making a web series and versus making a TV show. Those are all three very different animals. If you're making something really short form and putting it on the internet, and you have that freedom to move, you know, episode to episode in quick succession, and you don't really matter. A lot of times your characters are resetting at the end. Your universe isn't experiencing much of a progression. It's very sitcom in its nature, in that you can jump in at any episode and you need to be able to enjoy yourself. The movie is the penultimate progression of character, right? At the beginning and the end of the film, you should have completely different characters, or at least very different characters, and there needs to be a big journey they went on, and a lot that they've learned, and it has to be epic. And I think, you know, it's not necessarily written in stone as a writer, but for me personally as an audience member, when I watch a movie, I'm expecting epic. And if I'm watching a movie of something that was a TV show or was a web series, what's going to differentiate it is how epic is it? What did they do? What kind of budget they have? And you watch the web series, sure, it's Jeremy and Doug, and they're hanging on couches, they're having fun, and it's funny, and they're chill, and they're having fun. Like, there's a lot that is very funny about Jeremy day-to-day life working in a restaurant. But to have that one opportunity, which might be the only opportunity to make Pwnage the movie, we knew we had to try to make it as epic as possible and bring Jeremy not just out into the world, but into the popular world, into the famous world, right? Into the world of stadiums where everybody sees him, and see where we can take our characters in our universe and what happens when we go that far. And they worked out. I think it worked out pretty well. But it's a very different animal, and a lot of the feedback, which has been almost entirely so positive, but the few people that are like, I prefer the web series, is generally, and I totally dig that. They're like, I think. A lot of them say, I prefer the web series, and I think some of them think, if it was just a long web series episode, it would have been better, but I think they might actually be surprised if they were to watch a 90-minute episode of a web series and maybe go, oh, actually, that's pretty stagnant, pretty boring. I guess, what the feeling is generally that they prefer the format of having our characters in smaller bursts and less epic storylines, which I totally dig as well, because I think it works very well in that format too. But for the movie... Yeah, the biggest challenge was how do we make the movie? How is it epic? How is it above and beyond anything we've ever done, even after having this mega network TV show? How do we surpass that with a fraction of the budget of the TV show? We want to make something that feels so much bigger than the TV show ever felt. Mm-hmm. And I think we pulled it off. I don't think anywhere in our TV show did it feel that Pwnage was that big. But I'd be happy to go back to making small Pwnage because, it's a lot easier to make small Pwnage.
It took us a while to make this movie, but lots of questions coming, and look at all this stuff.
I know. I'm gonna go back to
any reason why Doug didn't run with a knife, since you always run fast with a knife at the end of the movie. Well, because when you're in Poland and you're shooting on the street. You don't want a scary-looking man running really fast with a knife in his hand because the police will be called. And then when you don't speak Polish and you can't explain that in Counter-Strike you run faster with a knife, and that's why we're doing it, we just figured that we would just not get arrested.
In the script, Doug runs with a knife. In the script, Doug is running down the streets in Poland and pulls a knife from a hot dog stand or something from a street.
There was a street vendor. We had
Yep.
we had a gag where he runs by a street vendor and grabs a knife and then runs
and
with
then
the
runs
chef's
even
knife.
faster once he grabs the knife. You'll see this if you're an Indiegogo. Go back or you'll get the script. But when we got to Poland and we got to shooting the film, we're like, wait a minute. This street's full of people. If a guy that naturally looks as fucking terrifying as Joel Gardner grabs a knife and starts running top speed down the street, you actually create a terrorist situation.
Yeah, there could have been like Interpol involved.
Literally
would have
Interpol
been
involved. Literally, he might have been shot, right?
Yeah.
So we decided...
We don't want Joel to get shot at IRL.
It's one thing on paper that's really funny and makes sense, and another when you get down to shooting it on the street, you're like, that's actually really dumb. So that's why. There was... how were the tournament scenes filmed during an actual tournament? Yeah, the tournament scenes were filmed during the 2014 Katowice...
2015,
both.
Yeah,
okay.
both years we were there.
Yeah. Jeremy's dream sequences in the LAN Cafe were 2014, Katowice, Poland. And then in 2015, we went back, and that's where we shot the World Finals, which is why, it's a big thank you to ESL and Intel and IEM for letting us roam their sets before hours, after hours, wherever we wanted. We got that footage. And basically what happened is that as soon as the Intel Extreme Masters ended at night, they would all leave the stage and the area, and our crew would come on, and we'd start shooting. And we'd shoot all through the night while they weren't there, and then we would stop by the morning when they came back. So we shared this incredible stage setup, and then, of course, we shot their live crowd, which was 13,000 people going ballistic, and sewed it into our stage setup, which, if you didn't notice, I guess, is evidence of it being pretty seamless. That's the actual Intel Extreme Masters crowd with our 4 a.m. stage setup.
Yep. Someone's asking, are we excited for the Warcraft movie? And there's an interesting, what I wanted to say to that question is, my interest in World of Warcraft does not translate at all to the Warcraft movie. It might as well be the Blackcraft movie, whatever. My interest in the game and the the lore of World of Warcraft was not why I played it. And I don't want to, I'm not like watching the trailer saying like, oh, I can't wait to see what this character is going to do in the movie, you know, because I love the character in the game. There's none of that for me. Like, I imagine it's the same for you. It just might be like a well done movie, and then I might watch it based on that, but it, you know, might as well call it Orcs versus Humans.
Yeah. I mean, personally, you're talking to a guy, okay, I played Brood War for a decade, never finished the single player campaign. Like, the fiction of the universe of the games that I'm absorbed and obsessed by is so separate from the gameplay that I'm loving and actually obsessed by that I'm not excited at all. I played World of Warcraft a lot. I played Warcraft 3, I played Warcraft 2, and I played Warcraft when it first came out. Yep. I played StarCraft, StarCraft, but like, they could put out a StarCraft movie and I'd be like, I mean, I guess if it was reviewed really well, I might consider go seeing it, but it's not something I'm lining up for. There's not something I'd be excited for. I actually can't tell you the story. Like, you know, I played Brood War for 5 years. I'm like, who's Kerrigan? I just went to like, well, I thought you're a Brood War player. I'm like, I am a Brood War player. But that's not a fucking unit in the game, dude.
It's not
what the fuck is Kerrigan?
In a multiplayer game, yeah.
I just, in my brain, have separated games and film for so long that I just literally ignore. In most games, I literally ignore the story component. Of games that I approach as a multiplayer game, I ignore it. And say a game like League, which I still play to this day, I know they have lore. Like, I think there's lore and there's background to the characters, and they're from Noxham or whatever, and the characters, like, never read a word. Couldn't care less. Like, literally couldn't care less. A character in League to me is, what's their range? What's their base auto attack speed? What is the function of their abilities? That's why I play games. But I look for my stories elsewhere.
I imagine the lore is good though. Like if it's the same quality as every other aspect of their game in World of Warcraft and in League of Legends, like I imagine there's some good lore there. But I'm just not a lore guy.
Oh, I'm sure there's amazing lore.
Yeah,
they have so much money. They probably hired incredible writers. In fact, I'm the one probably missing out. To be honest, I'm probably missing out. It's just that when I assign time in my life to go do this thing with games, and I assign time to do these things with reading and movies, which is when I'm seeking out story, for some reason, like those are very separate things in my brain, and they're very separate pastimes and activities, and I have to be in a different state of mind. And I spend a lot of time absorbing stories. I spend a lot of time reading and watching films, but I also spend a lot of time playing games. But when I'm playing games, I'm never looking for the other. I just don't care. I really just want gameplay when I'm playing games.
Well, you know, this is something that we talked about before and touched on, and I wanted to bring this up during the stream because, you know, with the whole single player game and the new Doom coming out, and everyone's like, "Oh, Doom's the best! It's the best single player experience! I can't believe it! It's amazing! It's amazing!" You know, there is a story depth to single player gaming that is appreciated by gamers. It's like, wow, the story was great in this game. And we've talked before about how it doesn't compare to this novel or to that movie or whatever, where the story is the main thing, not no one cares about. There's no gameplay, right? Yeah. Now, we talk a lot about Game of Thrones, and we probably shouldn't get into it in this stream. We should probably dedicate a whole stream.
We don't want
to it.
Spoiler alerts. Yeah, honestly,
but
we should do a weekly Game of Thrones.
They have after shows, right? Like we should do an after show.
Dude,
a couple Game of Thrones episodes ago, we talked for an hour and a half with Dara and with Steven TB and Fiddlestick Spot, and we went off and we just like, oh, this character's doing this motivation here. This part is so amazing, and we went off about the writing and how amazing it was and how into the Game of Thrones we are. But that would never. It doesn't happen with most TV shows. It doesn't happen with most movies. But it would never. In my opinion, we're pretty far off when it comes to gaming. And in fact, when you as a protagonist in a RPG or a single player game makes a choice, and this is Jared's classic point, is you come to a choice and it has two text options. It's like, you know, you meet a child. It's like, give child candy or throw acid in child's face. It's like do you want to be good or do you want to be bad? And it's pretty black and white on that. Like, where are the games where you make a choice and you have to understand the strategy of the personalities and the people involved, and And wait, if I do this, I give this up, but I gain this. But is it worth it? And are they going to come back? And am I going to get retribution? I have to side with someone and screw someone else over, but I know that they're powerful in that way and they're powerful in another way. Where is that in gaming? Where is the Game of Thrones level of complexity in gaming? It's just like, do you want to be a good guy or do you want to be a bad guy? And you end up with the same ending of the story either way, or maybe there's two endings, right? The good ending, the bad guy ending. But like, wouldn't it be great to play a game where you have to actually consider a strategic depth that is something Game of Thrones worthy, right? Like, wouldn't that be amazing to be like...
You know, it would be.
And to understand personalities and subtleties. And,
Yeah.
you know, they had that one detective game, I can't remember the name, where...
Can you hold this for a minute? Can I pee?
Yeah, do it.
You good? All right.
They had motion capture where you're supposed to be able to tell if you are an astute observer, whether or not the person is lying, and you're a detective, you're trying to find out the truth. And it's like, oh, is this person lying? Well, they did this twitch, you know, the actor is supposedly pretending to lie or whatever, and you're supposed to pick up on it and then not trust their testimony when you're trying to solve this case. So there was that, and it was like, okay, you added a layer, but it was more like a novelty thing to play with your new facial motion capture technology. So I don't know if the writing was there. I didn't play that game. LA Noire, that's the name of the game. Thanks, chat. That game is called Life, Jeff. I know. The game is called Life, and it's a great game. I suggest you play it as well as the other games that you play on your computer. El Gay Noir. Oh, I see. You're not a fan. But yeah, it's people saying it's pretty good. I imagine that is. You know, I don't. There's a lot of games I intend to play. I'm still working my way through Fallout 4. Still working my way. No spoilers, please. But yeah, I'm hoping for some great writing. I would love it if there was a video game that had writing that was Oscar-worthy and that was like, wow, the writing in this game is better than the average film. Just better than the average film, which isn't too high of a bar. But I know the way the games are produced, oftentimes the voice actors never meet. They're in different sound booths in different cities, and they're trying to act out their lines without context or without a director. You know, get the actors in the same room, have them interact with each other, record the audio there. Like that's, you know, that rarely happens in gaming. So I hope we have a story focus, especially, The Last of Us, right? I haven't played that, but apparently it's amazing. I got to play more of these games now that we're finished the movie. You know, I've had this movie thing to do for the past 2-3 years, and it's over. It's done. We're going to ship out the Blu-rays, and then we're going to move on to new stuff, which means I'm going to play new games and do some new stuff. Confirmed web series continuation? Question mark? If your uncle is the head of content at Netflix, then yes. We want to get to Netflix. We want to get where it's at on the web. Just like I'm jealous of the Trailer Park Boys. People have been asking about the Trailer Park Boys too. It's a Canadian series that was also on Showcase Television, that was also canceled by Showcase, and they moved to Netflix, and they're doing well there. They're having a good time. I'd like to get in with Netflix, but I don't know anyone there, and yeah, I don't know how to do that, but we're going to try. We've got the movie to show. We'll be like, look, this is Pwnage. This is what it is. Here's a nice movie. Check it out. Blu-rays are going out. Well, next week, Jarrett and I have to do the commentaries. I got bloopers. I got behind the scenes. I'm in the process of cutting. So we're going to have lots of extra footage that no one has seen. And we're going to be doing some Blu-rays and DVDs and shipping them out to the Indiegogo backers and then selling them on the noobstore.com. So check it out.
Totally. Thanks for waiting for me. Sorry.
No problem. No, I was just having a chat with the people.
Awesome. Just as a heads up, there is, in the other room, in a nearby room, my family's watching on stream. And I'm going to use stealth words here. So here we go. So there is a little human who's genetically related to me of a young age who's also watching. So A, I'm going to check my language, and B, I might randomly throw in stealth comments in order to TRIP him out.
This
So
is a
don't be
very
thrown
near genetic relation, very
Yeah,
first order.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
I thought it'd be fun to just randomly in the middle of, Taryn, what's up, buddy? I would just say things, and he would, have no idea what's Daddy talking about, kind of things, right? So,
why is Dad on television?
Well, I have no idea. But randomly, like,
Yeah.
Steve from Minecraft, and then we can keep talking. I just know that.
Does Taryn know we can see him? I see you.
Oh my God, I can see.
Buddy?
That's
What
right
are you
there.
doing?
Oh my, hey, dude.
No, man. No. That's not, yeah. I know what you're talking about, though. I know what you're talking about.
So questions. First, have you done this? Let's go back to this.
I haven't done any of that.
Okay.
Look at all these donations coming in,
It
guys.
starts with Lassa at $2. Says the movie, it was good, but it wasn't quite the web series. For head. I don't know what for head means. That's what I get if we make it better.
Forehead? Are you talking about my forehead?
Forehead. Oh, forehead. What's wrong with my forehead? Anyway,
Or is it
I will interpret your comment as
forehead?
meaning you think our property works better in a web series format. Not agreeing or denying. But glad you thought the movie was good. Aqua Dragon says movie was great with the subtitles. Take the Neanderthal and monies.
Mm-hmm.
Wings and me had a really great time in London premiere and loved the Twitch chat that reacted to the movie. Fans.
That's forehead.
I guess that would be forehead.
That would be forehead, yes.
I guess the Twitch chat answers me right away.
Yeah, that's forehead.
Thanks, Aqua Dragon. Thanks for all the help in
Yeah,
London,
man.
man. Really appreciate it.
Good times hanging out with you in London there.
Kaleidoscope says Heart in December. Thank you. Malkavian says any plans to resume using Patreon. Donates $5. Yes. In fact,
That's a big plan.
That's a big part of the what's next plan, I guess, for Pwnage. So we absolutely have plans to resume using Patreon. Although resume implies we really use it to begin with. Like originally we were just kind of excited by it and we threw one up just kind of randomly. We never promoted it, never really linked it, never really talked about it. Because we always had it in our minds that this is like, okay, once the movie's finished, once what we are obligated to make, and once people have literally paid us money to make, and we have all of these items that must be created and fulfilled, what's next for Pwnage? And I think that the Patreon, is it Patreon or?
It's Patreon. It's like patron.
Patreon? Okay.
Patreon. Yeah.
I think the Patreon platform is probably the most exciting platform.
Because it's for ongoing content. It's like Kickstarter for things that keep going.
For people
Right.
like Jeff and I and Pwnage and the type of Pwnage that we want to make, I think it's the best platform. Indiegogo is amazing, and they were amazing. They still are amazing. Kickstarter's great. When you're doing one big project and a one-off project, and it made tons of sense for the movie because we knew we needed a big budget for the movie, and it's this epic thing, right? But if we want to come back to Pwnage, now that we've done everything, we've literally made $10 episodes thrown up on the web before YouTube existed, up into a big web series, up into a multi-million-dollar Union television series, up into a feature film. We've literally done everything that there is to do. We've live streamed everything there is to do. What fits best for Pwnage in terms of stuff that we think is the best fit for our characters and the best fit for our lives. And Patreon is very exciting that way because I think that I'd prefer, and I think Jeff agrees, to make content more regularly than every 3.5 years. Right? It is very stressful and it's a very big ask to blow people away in an epic style every 3 years, the 90-minute feature film, and go out there into the feature film market versus, the more regular format of Pwnage. We have an abundance of characters now. We have an established universe. We have a style. And Pwnage has always worked well topically and being, part of the present moment and addressing what's happening now in gaming. And one of the things that was most difficult with the movie was that, okay, we're going to take 3 years to make this thing. a lot has changed in 3 years. In fact, Twitch, the very platform we're talking to you on, barely existed 3.5 years ago. I mean, it did, but it was tiny. It was nothing, and now it's everything.
It's huge. Yeah.
Right? No, I mean, not everything, exactly, but it's pretty big. The entire gaming landscape has changed so much, but Pwnage was always historically known for being so relevant, right? Every 2, 3, 4 months, a new episode would come out and would address what's happening right now in gaming as interpreted by the characters. Oh, I touched that fly. By the characters of the universe. So moving, if we want to move back into that, which we feel is probably the best fit for Pwnage, Patreon is a golden platform because it guarantees an ongoing funding source.
You guys like ongoing Pwnage, right? We like ongoing Pwnage.
I would really like ongoing Pwnage. So we're in the midst of building and designing the future of Pwnage.
And you'll hear about it real soon.
Well, you'll hear about it really, really soon, yeah. Probably within a month.
Yeah, because we'll tell you. We'll tell you all about it.
Right now, our primary task one is finish all of everything related to the movie, and that's satisfying all the Indiegogo backers. So that's we have to author all the Blu-rays and DVDs and create all the posters. We have a lot of stuff we need to make and give out to all the Indiegogo people that help make this movie that you just watched happen. But when that's done, we wake up one morning and we go, well, what's next? Like, what's next for the Pwnage brand? And I don't want it to be nothing. I really like the characters we have. I really like the universe we have. And given the grand scope of all of our experiences, I do feel that the ongoing web series style best fits Pwnage, right? It allows us to go back to being topical and being regular. And especially this, like the Twitch experiences we've had over the last couple of years, we don't talk to you much about, but off camera we talk about just how much fun this is. It's such an interesting and new and fun medium to be able to look at chat and talk to you in real time, thousands of people, and deliver you the lulls.
You guys are accumulating lulls, I hope.
Oh yeah,
with Revlo.
No, I'm sure there. That so we're planning what's next, and you'll know very soon what is possible.
That's right.
Right.
Stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. All that stuff.
Totally. Likes on social media.
Stuff. The DayZ reference. Do you guys play DayZ, or did you just do that for the lulz? There's a gentleman who's involved in the development of DayZ who is we've been in touch with, and I haven't played the game, but I'm a fan of what the game is, and I love watching people play the game. And in fact, I love the open sandbox. Let's see what happens concept with it. We just really thought that the location we were filming in looked like DayZ, and
that was not in the script. Man. That was just off the cuff.
That was just like it looks like DayZ, so let's say it looks like DayZ. Yeah,
DayZ was one of those games that there's some people on the staff that are fans of the show, and we are kind of fans of the game behind the scenes, but it just didn't make a good fit in the script. So we're happy to include a mention. Of the show. Really happy to include a mention. Captain Hacks, by the way, 26 months in a row.
Thanks. Whoa, that's a lot of subbing.
Pirate X courses, Hexpoliation per tonnage makes me hard, totally drunk. I pre-ordered the met and exceeded expectations at the Macan premiere. Thanks, Pirate X Core. Hey, no, that's verbatim.
Making the premiere. You read out that comment.
It's verbatim. Kenny G. Loggins 57 says, not sure who answers your questions on your site, but thanks for addressing my concerns and making the movie available in digital form. That would be Stacy.
Stacy takes care of that
thanks,
stuff.
Stacy.
Thanks, Stacy. Who is likely watching in
the other room, probably, yeah.
Nearby.
And, all right, good. Cut up there. Back to the chat. Does my mom still use a 3-dozer build? Yeah.
Maybe, all moms do.
Maybe even 4 if you catch her on a good day.
I saw there was a Generals World Championship that's still happening.
What?
Yeah.
What, like, is there 4 people in that? This starts at semifinals?
Yeah, it's not such a popular thing, but you can watch them on YouTube. People are still playing Generals in 0 Hour.
was how much was the web series a reflection of your real lives? It's a non-zero amount.
Yeah,
I suppose
it's a decent amount. Yeah,
you know, it's actually pretty. Jeremy at the time, when we started making the web series, I literally had moved across country, dropped out of university, quit my job, was literally and technically and in all ways you can explain unemployed and broke, and was doing stand-up comedy at local comedy clubs and pubs and wherever else would have a stage and a microphone they'd offer me, and playing 0 Hour all day competitively. And because comedy is the type of job that you don't need to necessarily focus many hours a day on. If you've got a solid set, you know, maybe you can go a couple weeks without working on your set, show up for a few hours, do your set, go back home, and keep owning Noobs and Clan Wars. So I think actually at the start of the web series, Jeremy was a pretty accurate reflection of who I was, I guess, if you exclude the fact that I had a social life and did stand-up comedy. But other than that, that was my room. Like if you look at the original web series and you see Jeremy's totally bland room with nothing in the walls, with a bed in the middle of the room, not even touching the walls, one couch and the desk with the computer, that's not set deck. There was zero set deck. That is literally how I lived for a couple of years when I first moved to Toronto, because I'm just weird that way and I don't have needs for knickknacks and art on the walls. I just like to wake up in my bed in the middle of the room. And by the way, the bed's in the middle of the room because it's less likely bugs are going to crawl up on the bed and get on the bed in the middle of the night, because I don't really like bugs. So I generally pull my beds away from the away from the walls a bit, right? And then they're more in the middle of the room, and then I'll sleep on them. So that's why that was like that. But that was it. And at the time, Jeff was in his postgraduate physics degree, but really wanted to be a filmmaker and didn't know why he was doing what he was doing, because he wasn't doing what he wanted to do. And then here I was, his best friend, or good friend, since we were little kids, and I moved out there pursuing my dreams. He's like, I should pursue my dreams. And we got together, pursued our dreams together. And so he stopped doing school, and I stopped doing stand-up comedy. We made Pwnage, and the rest is kind of history. Hmm? You have discussed on previous streams the state of esports and how the major esports games are changing and adding too much content. Would you consider forming a Pwnage project, web series, or another movie around Jeremy creating the best esport game ever? One that stays the same, is not ever changing. Says K-Spang. Well, that's a great question. Specifically with regards to Raw Mail Productions, we've never talked about anything like that, about making content around that idea. But around that idea itself, that is what I go to bed at night thinking about and wake up in the morning thinking about before I turn on the gotta go to work switch and start trying to write jokes or make Pwnage or other things. That's sort of my dream. That's underlying what keeps me going is making the esport, making the best esport, right? Because I really do, esports has absolutely exploded in the last 10 years, and I love it. I've been a competitive gamer my whole life, competitive in everything in life, but gaming, since I was 16, it's over 20 years now. I've been competitive with my gaming. But and as big as League is, and as big as StarCraft ever got, and as big as Dota and Counter-Strike is, when I watch them and I see the communities and everything from the design to the communities, there's flaws that can be improved, easy improvements that can be made, and it really is my dream. To this day, it's funny because I'm a writer-actor by profession, but I go to sleep at night thinking and dreaming about making the sport, which I still think I can help make. But maybe that's fantasy and delusion, but I really think that it hasn't been made yet, that there really is, the soccer, the football of video games has not been made yet, and that every major esport right now is fundamentally missing critical aspects of what they need to become the football. That there are certain axioms of the perfect esport design that haven't been adhered to. And I would love more than anything in life to do that and to help do that and And I've talked with Jeff and my family like for many years, like if the movie hits or if anything hits, if at any point I find myself with enough money to change professions immediately and not worry for a while, I would absolutely have a startup and I would go for it, man. I would just try to make the soccer of video games. That's the life dream, man. The soccer of video games. How did Topal make a random resurgence as the official chant? Well, in the chat today, I think it helped having subtitles. I think without seeing Topal written on the screen, it might not have recurred as much. But I'm not really even sure where that came from, because that's originally, it was Joel's thing. I think that was just some Joel improvisation on set one day. The whole Topal, it was never written on paper. It was something that came out of Joel's mouth. Joel would often on set get really excited to make these crazy Doug sounds. And Topal was something that didn't go from paper to screen. It went from screen to paper. And so Topal came out of Joel's mouth one day, and then it became Topal. And then as we were subtitling the film just this week, I decided to sort of put that in there, and I'm glad we did. In fact, a part of watching Twitch today, I think what made it extra great was the subtitles and people pulling from the subtitles into the chat. And it adds something, being able to see the dialogue on the screen with your eyes instead of just hearing it. And I know, even personally, and I'm sure for a lot of people that watched it, there's things that you miss when you're watching it, because maybe, Jeremy, the character by nature, is very fast talking. I talk pretty fast, but Jeremy is supposed to be a fast talker. That's a part of his character. His brain is always going like this, right? So he's a super fast talker. And you miss a lot of what he says, But when you get to watch the subtitles, you really get to read everything. And, it was extra fun today, man. Really. Subtitles are the way to go. If you've already seen the movie a bunch of times, if you missed the movie earlier, the subtitles will be on Vimeo this week and out there in the public this week. And I'd highly recommend doing a second watch with the subtitles, because I guarantee there are things that you didn't hear the first time around. When we approached Dave with the movie, says God Monster, was he excited, or did he have to go get ice cream? What did you think a new audience would think of him, given his quick out of nowhere appearance in the final product? Dave was excited by the idea we were making a movie, but it's been so long since Pwnage. He's in such a different chapter of his life, which is literally halfway around planet Earth. He has not been within 10,000 kilometers of us in years. So while he was very excited for us to be making the movie, I don't know how excited he was particularly to be involved in the process. And with regards to what we thought the new audience would think of him, we kind of, I think a lot of Dave's appearance, there was a fan service element to it. We know that people that know Dave from the web series would be very excited to see him. And we thought that if you had no idea who Dave was, he's just kind of this random guy that pops up and you're like, who the fuck is that? And maybe it would be just be funny on its own merit, as being this random friend of theirs who exists only in Skype, only for a brief couple of scenes. It may be the case, and you can tell me if you're someone in chat who has never seen the web series or TV show and happened to tune in today, if that was confusing or weird. But we thought, because we can't be objective about it because we know Dave on and off screen for so many years, but we thought it would be consumable for someone who had no idea what, and an extra bit of service for people that did know what.
Yeah. It's neat. There's a guy on Skype all the time. He's always there, kind of. Kind of lives in the computer, maybe. I don't know. Is Dave real?
Not anymore.
Who knows?
Do we follow the pro Super Smash Brothers scene often? Unfortunately, I do not. Not follow in the sense that I follow many other things in life. But I pay attention when it comes into my stream of input via, Twitter and everything else. I still love Super Smash. At the Calgary Con,
You guys are playing Smash on your old school CRT.
just last month, we were at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. We had a booth there. So we set up a little gaming area, and I busted out a little rather large, heavy-ass 40-inch CRT monitor from my mom's basement. which is the CRT monitor that I grew up playing on. And we grabbed an old GameCube and put up Super Smash Bros. Melee, which, by the way, is the best Super Smash Bros. If you disagree, please leave the channel right now. And we played Super Smash Bros. Melee on an original 40-inch Panasonic Gao 40-inch CRT monitor. It was pimp. We played all weekend. I think Super Smash Bros. Melee, specifically, Super Smash Bros. Melee, best fighter of all time. Still love it to this day. But I don't spend much time watching the pro scene. But man, Melee, come on, man, come on. It's Melee, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I'm old, by the way. And then I don't know what's underneath, but those two games are so the best. And man, Melee. And by the way, I got owned by a guy in Calgary who was apparently the best Ganondorf in Western America.
Yes.
God, I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head. And I've never been rocked like that in my life. I'm a decent player, not competitive by any standards. I would never go to a tournament, but I'm a decent. Like, basically, if you don't play competitively and you're just a guy that I'm meeting in a living room, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, you're totally dead, dude. But if you like go to tournaments and stuff, you're gonna beat me. But if you don't, you're totally dead. So that's where I'm at in my skill level. And this guy totally goes to tournaments, like a lot. And I played lots of those guys before, and they would beat me by a little bit, and we'd have close matches, but they'd win because they're competitive. But no, I couldn't control my character. Like, I felt I might as well drop the controller. This guy completely, in every way, took control of my controller, basically. And I've never had an experience like that ever in any video game competitively I've ever played. And
so he kind of like threw you around,
dude.
Just took control and just
Yeah.
Whatever you did, it didn't matter. It was just like,
And yeah.
you go there.
Yeah.
You go.
Should I have been turned on? Is that what you're getting at?
I'm not saying anything. This is a very
Family
G-rated
stream? Okay.
family stream.
Yeah, he had his way with me though. He did. And it was Ganondorf. How does this guy know? Oh man, it wasn't even Fox, right?
I don't know.
Right? It's not like he came out with Fox. It was Ganondorf. It was Ganondorf had his way with it. Oh man, I've never had a gaming experience like that. But anyway, if he's actually in chat, is that actually him? Because that's really hilarious if that's the case. But no.
Hicks206 subscribed for 10 months. Did you talk about that? You know who Hicks is, I have a feeling.
Hicks 206.
It is Mr. Daisy himself.
Oh really?
I
Oh.
have a feeling. About 8 minutes ago.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Mr.
dude.
Hicks. Thanks, dude. And thanks to Jacob Mishka, who subscribed for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny G. Loggins is not sure you answered your question on site, but thanks for addressing my concern and making my movie. Oh, wait. That was Stacy. We just
talked
have.
about that.
But there was. Hold on.
Do you ever go into character by accident? Oh, yeah. I think Jared's been in character a few times.
Maybe. Oh, there it is. What does the crew of Pwnage think of Blizzard's newest game, Overwatch?
Ooh. We got the beta for that.
Yeah, it was in the alpha, I think. I don't know how early.
And yeah, so we played the beta.
We played on stream, and Cal did better than me, so it was dead to me. Right there, game's dead to me. That says a lot.
My turrets, man. My turrets. I got a lot of kills. I was just devastating the enemy. It's
a lot.
beta, though, so they have to make it Cal-proof.
Yep, they
apparently.
do. They Cal-proof the game.
Apparently, they have to make it Cal-proof.
Cal-proof
so
the game.
They nerfed turrets big time.
Did they?
No, I'm just
because
making
you didn't
this
like
up.
your 26 kill streak is like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever.
I'm just like
I was like, who am I sitting next to? I was at a 26 kill streak. I don't even care because I'm not getting any feedback that I should care. But
if you look on our past streams, I own some S. Own some S big time. Own that S up.
He did, man. Yeah, the Captain Elite. Thanks, man. Here's my problem with Overwatch. You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Because it all comes down to this. Let me talk. Because this is producer Jarrett talking, not gamer Jarrett. So this is pure producer Jarrett. Mm-hmm. Upfront box cost GG. Right? Hold on a minute. Upfront box cost GG. That's my opinion on Overwatch. I think the game had potential to dominate esports, FPS esports particularly. And they didn't know how to monetize it. And they went with an upfront box cost equals GG. And that's the end of it. It's really as simple as that. Regardless of how fun the game is, which I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Upfront box cost GG, fire people. I added 3 syllables at the end there. And that's it. Yeah, it's a fun game. But upfront box cost GG to esports. Yeah, sad.
Yeah, well, you know, it's really weird because usually when you charge a bunch up front, it's like Civilizations, right? You know, they're going to buy it, they're going to play it possibly for an average of a week, and they're going to be like, wow, that was worth the $60, $70. Mm-hmm. I played it for a week, and then I'm good. Or maybe, you know, and a lot of people, they play it for a year, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like an ongoing, competitive, multiplayer FPS
Yep.
that is trying to compete, I assume, with Counter-Strike, shouldn't you just assume, like, you know, microtransactions, skins, you know, that's how you monetize that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're saying we don't expect people to play this game long-term when they charge up front. If you know people are going to be playing it long-term, you don't charge up front, you get them in, and then they microtransact themselves into paying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times the cost.
Yep. And I
Of
see
the
that-
box.
And I always see the same arguments. $40 ain't shit. It's just $40 for us. It's all the what's the polite word? You know, the ass kissers is hard, but I mean it's harsh to say, but point missers. I don't know, ass kissing point missers. There's like a couple of hyphens. there.
Fanboys.
Fanboys. There's another hyphen maybe. I don't know. Can you write that? But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with that. It might be great value for $40. I'm talking as a producer. I'm talking as a human being who has paid attention to gaming and gaming sales and the gaming community and the gaming environment and everything for 30 years, that you can't make a successful esport out of the gate charging $40 or more. Because it's more, it's like $60 on the PS4 for your game. You just can't. That is a market fact. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. That's a market fact. That's it. If you disagree, please communicate to me in chat right now the upfront cost to engage in the top 3 esports on planet Earth right now. Waiting for your response. Waiting for your response in chat right now. And then maybe you realize, I should turn my fanboyness off, think for a second as a producer, as an owner of a product that wants to be a big esport, and go, yeah, you know, wait a minute. Maybe acquiring audience is step 1 in the success cycle of making a big esport. $15.
Blizzard's not hurting for
Yep.
cash either. They can
$15.
take- they can take a
$15.
risk.
$15. Sorry, by the way, $15, a lot less than 40 or 60. Huge difference. $15 in Poland, affordable. $60 US Poland.
There are a lot of different markets around that have a lot of different standards of income.
CSGO didn't start at $15 either. Didn't start popular either, did it, buddy? Didn't. No. Didn't think so.
CSGO has cheaters because Valve sucks. What?
SC2 is not huge? Yes. It's not huge at all. In fact, it's tiny. Did game. Close to that. And that's because upfront box cost, Blizzard style. And again, I mean, it actually doesn't matter how good Overwatch is. You can't succeed in esports globally with that kind of upfront box cost. So it's such a shame. It's such a shame.
So-
Have you ever seen me more excited for a game in the past year? 2 years than Overwatch. Honestly.
Oh yeah. No, we love the art style. We loved everything about it, except the way it was monetized and marketed. And you were like, well, that's it. Like, and you know,
It's the biggest disappointment to me in the last, I don't know, 5 years. You know,
but at the same time, like, you had beta was given to us by an employee at Blizzard.
yeah, Alpha, yeah.
And or whatever allowed us to play it for the past 3 months.
Yeah.
So did you play it a lot?
No.
So you
But
did
you know-
play it once or twice, and then you
But
were
I
like,
but I like to think, though, that's not just related to gameplay, even though it was free for me at the time. It was the moment they announced that Overwatch is not a free-to-play microtransaction game that had any hope in the world of competing with League of Legends, Dota 2, and CSGO. As soon as they announced a $40+ upfront cost, I had no desire to play the game. Because part of my excitement was I want to be a part of this wave as it slams Earth. Because if Blizzard had just said Overwatch is free, baby, free, and then worried later, do the Twitter thing, man. It's 2016, Blizzard. Do the Twitter thing. Twitter's best. So you've got 300 million users. How do you make money? We don't know yet. Doesn't matter. Acquiring users. Yep. Strategy, acquiring users. Strategy, acquiring users. How about do that? Blizzard has the money to do that. They don't need to. Literally, you don't have to make money in the first year. It doesn't matter. You get the money. Acquire users. Acquire users. Dominate market. Take market share. Market. Dude, Overwatch.
Grow the
market.
esport.
Grow esports. Just free. If you give me Overwatch, free. That's all I would have done. Overwatch. And the minute I realized that the people making decisions are obviously 60 fucking years old, and when like, we'll charge $50 up front for the game, and I'm like, I'm done. All of my excitement was like, just crash landed into the ground.
But that's interesting.
And I couldn't pick it up. And they're like, well, here's free alpha. But I'm like, but I'm playing an alpha of a game that's going to be $60 and no one's going to give a fuck about when it launches. Yeah. Not no one. Of course, there's a ton of Blizzard fanboys, like many in the chat, that are going to obviously pay the $60 and play the game. But I just mean, I want to be a part of the thing that could be bigger than League of Legends, that could be bigger than Dota, that could be bigger than StarCraft, Counter-Strike. So that could be the hugest thing that human gamers have ever seen in their lives. And it could have been this game, but no, they want $60 now.
Okay,
they want $60 now.
So my question is, you know, the gameplay was still the gameplay. The game was still the game. You had access to it. You played it. You enjoyed a certain amount.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about your expectations for success of the game affecting your enjoyment of the actual gameplay? Because you said earlier you play games for gameplay and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So what's the deal with that?
I know.
Like, is it a fun game? Is what I'm asking. The bottom line, everything aside, can you separate the success of the game from how fun it is and say? But there was some appeal to it being huge.
Yes.
To it being a league killer or a CSGO killer.
To answer totally honestly, I didn't play enough to want to put Jarrett Kale's opinion on the internet for all time as to the quality of the gameplay. Because just as I started to play it, I learned that they're going to charge an upfront box on a store shelf cost for it. And I was so infuriated, so like amazed and disappointed, and every emotion ran through me that I just stopped playing it. And I didn't accumulate enough hours to in any way objectively judge the game. And I don't want to put Jarrett's opinion out there of the game. And it could be the best game ever made, at which point the tragedy only deepens.
Yeah.
Really, it only deepens. But
so you were disgusted by the way it's not going to be. Even if it's bad, you don't want to play it. If it's good, you don't want to play it because you're disgusted by the release strategy and monetization strategy.
The release strategy is disgusting.
Either way, you
fire the whole team. Done, man. I'd be firing people. Oh my god, I'd be firing people. It's a shame. I don't have a majority, stock position in Blizzard Entertainment. Because Overwatch could have been the everything killer. I mean, maybe. I actually don't know if the design was there because I stopped playing it before I could learn if the design was there. Anyway, could have been there. I'm sure I'm getting hated on chat. I'm sure there's Blizzard fanboys everywhere, man. Right,
there's Blizzard fanboys everywhere. There's Nintendo fanboys. There's fanboys of everything, man. Apple fanboys in the chat. Just gotta let them voice their opinion through the chat here.
Yeah. It'll be $4 for the first 6 months, then go free. Okay, cool. When it goes free, sign me up, man.
It's way too imba in its design. Are you talking about the turrets? Because I like those turrets being where they're at, pretty much.
No, it's not that because it's not an esports game, it's a bad game, says Brotato. Because I play a ton of games that aren't esports. It could be a non-esports game, but my expectation was that they wanted to make this an esports game. And part of what helped form that expectation could be there's no single player mode.
Yep.
Might have been relevant to that expectation. I mean, because if you're going to charge up front for a game, you better be giving me a story and some characters in a single player mode. I'll buy Destiny for $40. because I've got 40 hours of like single player content, etc. But literally, you're putting a game out that's only multiplayer. What other games are only multiplayer? Let's see. League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike. You're in a really small community of games you're competing with.
Yeah.
But you're the only fucking one charging $60 on the PS4 to play your game. Right?
Now,
pretty big difference, man.
Now, we were shocked when we were at EA headquarters for Command & Conquer 3 when they were developing the game. They were going to release it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some statistic where one of the developers told you about the multiplayer versus single player? So, Generals, the Command & Conquer franchise was always single player campaign, and you can also play online, by the way, while we're supporting it, because they don't support Generals anymore, but you still can through other means. Google it. Find out. It's awesome. But wasn't it something like, I can't remember the number, but it was like 90% of people who buy Command & Conquer Generals never log on to multiplayer.
Yep.
90% only play the single player campaign and never once try the multiplayer aspect of the game. And that was why they charge upfront, and also it was back way long ago when upfront box copy made sense. Box cost. But it was such a skewed understanding of my, enjoyment of the game. It was totally different from my personal taste in that, I actually played the single player campaigns of a few of those games, and just for the fun to see the new units that weren't in the multiplayer game, but I also played the shit out of the multiplayer version of that game. And first and foremost, it was a multiplayer experience for me. So it was really remarkable that most people that bought the game didn't play the multiplayer. And I guess that's true for RTS. Maybe that's why StarCraft charged. But MOBAs, obviously, there never has been. What would be interesting, maybe there would be a resurgence in MOBA popularity, or not resurgence, but a boost in popularity, if there was a MOBA single-player campaign for Dota or for League of Legends or whatever, Smite. Wouldn't that be amazing if, they sold 10 times as many skins or whatever because people wanted to have the skins in their single-player campaign modes, which apparently for RTS... And how far is MOBA from RTS, really? Are all the MOBAs missing out on the single-player campaign market?
I think the fact that 100 times more people have played League than single-player Command & Conquer suggests that no.
I guess, yeah.
It's a different thing that...
but it might be a newbie opinion, but what I'm saying is, could League be so freaking huge, or Dota so freaking huge, because they have this amazing single-player campaign with an amazing storyline?
No. Never. I don't think
Never.
so. I think the reason those games have become so big that they have dwarfed everything else is because they've introduced noobs to the idea of multiplayer.
Yeah,
And
interesting.
the reason 90% of people that play Command & Conquer and play StarCraft Brood War and StarCraft 2 play only single player is because they enjoy the top-down perspective, they enjoy the responsibility of controlling units, but going up in a multiplayer environment, it's way too intimidating and it's way too ego-smashing. You don't want to go 1v1 in a guy in line in StarCraft because when he kicks your ass, you're like, he's way better than me as a person, and that's a huge ego hit.
As a person in general? No.
I'm not saying he's better as an overall human being. What I meant was
That was Jeremy talking there.
he's a person, I'm a person, and in this one field of engagement, he absolutely destroyed me. And that's an ego hit. And literally, human culture in 2016 and 2015, 2014, but only getting more every year is ego protection, fragile ego. It's all like, we're at the point where don't say words that trigger me. Like, that's just like ego protection at every stage. So of course, StarCraft can't be big because no one wants to go 1v1 and have a guy beat them, because then they might for one moment have to accept the fact someone is better than them at something.
Yeah. There's no dice rolls. In fact, one of the fundamental elements of game design is to incorporate dice rolls so that you have something to blame when you lose. And you don't feel so bad, and it doesn't turn you off the game. In fact, you were telling me about Settlers of Catan and how you start charting the dice rolls, and you start writing. What is it called?
I'm that guy. I don't know what's it called. Writing down all the dice rolls. But I
and then be like, look at how screwed I was. Look at why I lost. It wasn't my skills.
Yeah,
It was the dice that screwed me.
Dice screwed my ass. Yeah.
I'll see you guys next game. I'm gonna play the game
yeah,
again.
yeah.
You know, it's like it's
Which was
it's a psychological
born from the
phenomenon.
online Settlers of Catan. When you played online,
Yeah.
they naturally provide you with that graph. So when I went back to playing
You could-
people, I really missed it because and it wasn't that like I'd be fine if I knew everybody at the table was numerate. And that everyone at the table understood why it is they're winning and understood the flow of the game. But when you have a guy at the end of the game who you know is a numerate and is like, I'm just winning because I'm good. I'm like, no! There's been 1 8 and 17 sixes! You are just dumb! You do not even know why you're winning right now. That's what made me have to make the graphs because I'm fine with other people understanding flows, but when you're playing with noobs, man, sometimes they gotta know.
I love it, man.
They gotta know, right?
I love it. I love the fact that so we spend a lot of time setting up the set and the lights and the audio,
Yeah?
and we have a compressor operating on the sound so that when we talk loud, it does not distort. Hopefully, doesn't distort too much. You might get some analog distortion from the hand wound.
Yeah, it's pretty analog, man.
It's this. I love this ENG mixer. We have an Audio Developments vintage mixer that we're going through, and man, hopefully it sounds good to your ears because I spent a lot of time tweaking the sound. I knew Jared was going to yell at some point. I knew I was going to yell at some point. So we got some pimp, nice compression ratio going on here that allows us to be heard when we're quiet and heard when we're loud without any distortion. So. Just hoping it all sounds good to all y'alls.
Spooky, Spooky, whosoever donated lead says, thank you for whatever you do. No, thank you for what you do. And he hidden reference to Teabag in the movie. There are no overt references, but I think that if you sit back and think about the story in general and try to imagine where the characters are and why they are where they are there. At least that was the intention.
So on this single player campaign versus multiplayer, how does GTA 5 factor into this?
Okay. So I've never played it.
Yeah, neither have I. I'm waiting for it to get down to $5 because I'm not going to spend more than $5.
Yeah. So when it hits $5 on Steam, but when I was in Calgary, Sean from Calgary.
Yes.
So Sean has exclusively played this game for like 2 years.
Sean D, man. Sean D.
Sean D.
From the episode 10 of the web series. That's the Sean we're talking about. That's the Sean.
In the beginning of episode 10, Sean D from Vancouver, BC or something, but he's no longer, he now lives in Calgary. He plays almost exclusively this game. And he was showing it to me and talking about it with me. And he was so excited and explained to me. And it's actually...
Did it get you excited about the game? Or
not excited enough to drop box cost money to play it.
Of course.
But if it didn't cost money up front and the company was
playing it right
smart
now.
enough to learn how to monetize it after I've already got into the gameplay, if they were, out of the year 1990 in their fucking heads, I would have been playing it already.
But they sold 65 million copies, says Flukio.
Cool. How much money do they make compared to League of Legends? Then shut up. And then, so anyway, it sounds really cool though. It sounds really, really, really cool. And it sounds like the kind of game that if they had a better monetization strategy, could have been the biggest game ever.
So can the chat help us out here? What are the numbers of multiplayer versus single player, right? Okay, so 65 million copies sold. How many people are online playing it now?
Like 200,000.
Like, because there's an example of like a game genre, a gaming mode of the third person, whatever, heavily story focused. You expect story. I don't know. But people are saying my theory is big time noob is that MOBAs are incompatible with single player story modes. That is what people are telling me. I'm just suggesting the idea as a Kyle noob that MOBAs might be bigger if there was a single player story campaign.
How could they be bigger? They're the biggest thing ever. Literally the biggest thing ever. You're like, they could top the biggest thing ever by being more ever if they also
It can
had...
be bigger than what it is. It's okay. I'm throwing the idea out there. I'm not saying that's my official opinion. I'm not saying I've researched it or thought about it however long we've been on the stream, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at the gaming genres, and it seems to me generally the single-player campaign, when there is one, is bigger than the multiplayer campaign. And I don't see how the single-player campaign would hinder the multiplayer campaign if the pricing model is the same.
No, it's optional. I don't think it would grow the audience because you're talking about like, okay, it's always been single player is way bigger. Multiplayer is an afterthought design attachment to games. That's all multiplayer was up until 5 years ago for every game ever made.
Yeah.
Even Brood War, man, it wasn't designed as a multiplayer game. They got lucky. They literally got lucky. Then KESPA in Korea, a massive organization, turned it into an esport, which they then tried to appropriate, creating this massive war. It's really no one before the MOBAs designed games to be multiplayer from the ground up to be successful. They were all designed as single-player games.
Okay, so... Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to... if I worked at League in a high-end position, and I was tasked with generating revenue, I would absolutely be releasing or commissioning the release of episodic single-player content. I know that there is probably a substantial subset of the League of Legends player base that digs the lore and would love to have some kind of single-player run-through with Katarina through some story for $6.99 that they could make for a couple $1,000,000 and probably sell like, $500 million of whatever the size of their audience is. Sure, I would commission that. That's great. But you just can't make that core to the gaming experience. Like if you want,
it has to be an afterthought. So not the multiplayer is the afterthought.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
The multiplayer is the core. The multiplayer is all there is. You want to make soccer, you want to make football, tennis, anything that lasts generations. That is founded in its multiplayer. The rest that's bonus, man. Yeah.
So am I? So someone says here, WCF is wrong with you. It's a MOBA. Why would you want to have a MOBA campaign? Woo, let's play with 4S PC teammates. Now,
are you suggesting
isn't that Diablo? Don't you go and Diablo out with people about comp stomping like?
No, he's saying PC teammates. So you're getting computer teammates, or NPC? I'm assuming he means.
Oh, I see what he's saying with for AI.
Because he assumes that you're
AI.
He assumes your single player campaign is you and 4 computers against 5 computers. So
no. It would just be you. It would be you.
Just you running through a dungeon as Katarina.
Yeah.
And you have to use Katarina's abilities perfectly to solve a puzzle or some kind of thing to get forward in some story.
Yeah, exactly.
And then cut scenes, and then Katarina's cut scenes.
Well, why is it 5v5, right? Yeah. And then.
And they release your favorite.
And then sure,
champion.
you have a 5.
The Tristana campaign was just released, and I have to perfectly use my rocket jumps.
And if you dig the lore, you go into the lore of Tristana, you find out more about her backstory.
Now, is this guy buying it? No, never playing a second of it. Yep. But you know what? I would produce it if I was an owner, but I'm not playing it as a player. There's a big difference there, man. Really big difference. You gotta make that mental.
Someone's saying sometimes you can't connect or there's a problem with the servers or the servers are down. Go play the single player. You got the client open already. Click the single player button. I don't know, man. I stand by my case
instincts.
Aram player instincts of my case of just why 0 single player? Why not just a little bit of a single player? If you're paying someone to write lore, you're having trouble, just it's money waiting to be accumulated right there. I think. I don't know.
Captain Megajuice says Jarrett not an owner confirmed. How is that confirmed? 1v1 right now, man. What are you talking about?
No, an owner of League of Legends.
Oh. Not an owner. Oh, okay. I have no shares in Riot Games.
You just almost called Jared a noob, so he almost lost it right there.
Embarrass you on stream.
He was going to trigger the compressor on that on that preamp there. Yeah, man. Triggered.
What about if you truly own it all games? Well, we don't know where that story went, man. Now, do we?
We do not know.
You own it all multiplayer. Only games.
Jeff is all about that Lore from MOBAs. Says GamerChick87.
Forthwith says, I redeemed Who's Your Daddy on Revlo.
Oh, we got something to do.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to Revlo here.
Let's
Who's
see
Your
what-
Daddy is Jeff and Jarrett will say your name. Say my name.
All right, here we go. We're gonna say an epic. It'll be a 3, 2, 1 epic. So what's the name here? What is it?
Forced Wits.
All right.
Forced Wits. Forced Wits.
Force them wits.
Wits forced.
Forced.
Forced. That's what you get. Who's your daddy? Forced Wits. He's your daddy. Thanks, Forced Wits.
Thanks, man.
I don't-
Redeeming them lols points. That's what you get. And I hope everyone's not like, wow, I'm going to log off Revlo because that was so lame.
Hey, it's
That was the lamest lol Revlo redemption I've ever seen.
possibly. Hey, Wine Ball, you did miss the movie, man. You missed the free version. You can go right now to Vimeo and
go
buy it.
buy
It's
the
pretty
movie.
cheap, man. It's 3 pints of beer.
It's not a lot of bucks.
Here's a look at it, man. 3 years of our lives, 3 pints of beer.
1 pint per
It's a
year
pretty
of our
good trade.
lives.
And honestly, man, if you watch it only once, I'll give you a pint back. But you will.
Yeah.
You
If you watch it only- yeah,
will
yeah.
watch this movie more than once. I promise you. It'll be the best movie you've seen this year, man. Yeah. Because what's better? The Avengers? Daredevil? Some guys in tights with a cape?
You know what?
Do you have taste, man? Do you have taste? You're going to like this movie, man.
I've been watching Deadpool. I'm
Oh.
halfway through Deadpool.
How do you do that?
Because
Do you put that stuff on your nose so you can't throw up?
you know what? It is that geeky humor that you expect, but it's a broad sense in that it appeals to the a broader range of humor appreciation. It is. It's like a Pixar movie. It's like it's for kids, but you can still enjoy it. It's like they put such a broad geek spectrum in the writing and in the that I'm into it. I'm like into it, but I know the genuine Corinthian leather or whatever lines, like all this stuff. Like it's just like you're throwing out references to be referenced, and then geeks are gonna be like, I get that reference. I get that reference. I get that. And it's like, come on, guys, add some layers to. Well, whatever. Don't do anything different because what did it make $200 million in its opening weekend? But so I'm not gonna tell them how to make movies. But man. Fine Corinthian leather, that's the word.
Totally. I am Time to Hunt says, I remember when this guy used to be the owner. That was the king of noobs. Wishing for MOBA single player, complaining about the price of Overwatch. Okay,
No,
first of all,
that's me wishing for MOBA single player.
when have I wished for MOBA single player?
Jared is shutting that idea down big time.
I'm owning as an owner of an IP. I would say, yeah, I'd produce the single player so that I could siphon money from all the noobs. Now that's a very big difference between wanting it myself and to play it. Secondly, I forgot my point, but he's happy with it. Complaining about Overwatch price, man. Listen, for one, I'm poor. All right, we're poor. Secondly, price is relevant, by the way, man. You might as well assume I live in like Namibia. No offense to Namibians on the stream or anything, but I assume that their average annual income is pretty low. But I am only concerned about the fact that the product does not change. It is Overwatch. The product is this. Product is X. Then you throw it through a monetization process. You have a distribution process. You have how do we bring this to the masses? Process.
Depends on if you're American or Canadian or British.
It's a process.
It's a process for the Americans.
I'm complaining about the process that they chose because it resulted in, continues to result in, will result in a tiny fraction of the total number of people that could be playing that game.
I'm Pride Games.
And that's it. And actually, I like Overwatch. I like the idea of multiplayer-only games. I, in fact, love them. It's... I'm trying to communicate here, but if this is your first stream, you don't understand the level of disappointment. This is like my fiance cheating on me level of disappointment. I had so much belief in Overwatch. I really did, man. For 2 years, I've been so hyped. So hyped. And then it comes time to bring this product to market. And they just cheat on you, man. They have sex with your fiance. Or the opposite, whatever, man. But the potential was seen. And then it was thrown away. And that's my disappointment. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. Jeremy loves Overwatch. Jeremy just wishes that 1 billion players could be playing Overwatch simultaneously, which can't happen with a box cost up front. That's all, man. I'm sad. Are you sad?
Look at all this triggered Canada hate. He is Canadian. We complain about the price of things even when they're free.
It's not free!
How do you complain about a free price?
I love free!
Canada hate. Hashtag.
I love free healthcare!
Look at this. GamerChick87. It's a process.
Listen, GamerChick87.
No. The amazing thing is that she spelled process all weird. The way you fucking spell it.
She has to put a hyphen to emphasize it is an O. Man, that's not an A.
It's an O. It's not an AH.
It's never been an H.
It's like, oh, is it a process? And you spell it with an O. Like, it's like, well, that's how you spell it.
How's your processor? Wait, actually, they probably say processor, don't they?
They say process in America.
Did they say orange?
They say orange in a lot of places.
So when do they pronounce O as O?
Well, they, Overwatch. They don't say Overwatch.
They don't say Overwatch!
So, I don't know, man. It's just, come on. That is one where you lose, America.
Yeah.
You lose.
You know what?
No one
Okay,
says
we need to be self-disciplined,
Overwatch.
Jeff. We need to be so. It's Overwatch, and we really need to be disciplined about this.
Orange.
When people want to talk, because I don't think there's a more recurring game people ask my opinion of than Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch. Obama. Your President Obama. Yeah, man. Is it really process with an O? I spelt it weird for you. No, that's the way it's spelled in every dictionary in the whole world. That is English language. So,
fucking Overwatch, man.
I'm more fucking this process. I'm still so pissed off about how to spell process.
I'm gonna be right back.
How to pronounce it.
Okay?
Overwatch.
I'll leave that.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Kalur. We don't know what we're talking about. Hey, that's not American to you? When it comes to saying about, I know what I'm talking about. It's about. Right? That's what you guys say? Is that... I didn't say about, which is what Canadians say. I said about. Yeah, our language slipped a little bit. Sorry, guys. Just, the way to not sound Canadian is you say, what is this about? Huh? Instead of, what is this about? Eh? What is this about, huh? Oh, I slipped. I slipped back into my Canadian there. I think I lost it a bit. What is this about? Huh? You know, Ryan Gosling really ditched his Canadian accent, and even though he's from Ontario, but he is the guy to aspire to hide your Canadianism. About. I can't play a song for you. I have no musical instruments in this room, so sorry, guys. So there's a whole bunch of comments I wanted to answer to. I'm going to scroll back here. Let me see here. Oh. The comments only go so far. Tell the guy in the journey tea to simmer down. What was I talking about when you wrote that comment? I don't know. Oatmeal to go. You want that MP3? I don't know. I'll have to talk to Jared about releasing that officially. That is one of our old songs back from 2004 where we were experimenting with autotune before autotune happened and exploded. So It's a great song, I think. It's rather crude in language. I'm not Edward Snowden. Do not come and arrest me, FBI. Can I go on a detailed discussion on the advancements of teledildonics again? No, I will not. That is not appropriate for this stream. I did want to tell a story, though. I had a note to tell a story from back in the day. Laugh my A off. He does look like Edward Snowden.
Who?
Who looks like Edward Snowden? I know. Who?
You?
Do I look like Edward Snowden? What?
I don't think so.
People are saying I look like Edward Snowden. Story time. Okay, Jared, I got a story. You haven't heard this story. It's a story.
Oh, no.
I was thinking, you remember we talked a week ago, and you're like, Jeff, do you have any ideas for stories for the stream? Make some notes in a Google Doc and send it to me. I made notes in Google Doc and never sent it to you.
But you never ran it by me. Oh, God.
Never ran it by you. So you haven't heard this story, though.
No.
It's about Netflix and chill.
Okay.
It's tame. It's a good. It's nothing. Really,
Yeah, well, it's a
really.
great tame way to start. Netflix and chill. I couldn't imagine where this ends. Yeah.
Netflix and chill is something this generation has, and here we are, old guys again. We're talking about the old days,
Yeah.
that I think is phenomenal. It's great. So we had our ghetto versions of Netflix and chill back in the day, and this goes back to the University of Calgary days when we lived in Calgary, and I lived with my parents, and we were going to university and all that. And it was around the time when I realized that, and you realize this when you're older as well. I don't know what the age distribution of people who are listening to this right now, but girls tell you when they're into you. They'll tell you, they'll send the signals. It's just a matter of you listening. Right, and oftentimes, I was totally deaf to the signals.
So you're not being literal.
Well, they don't come up to you and tap you on the shoulder to say hey, can I S your D? No, they come up. They will come up to you and do some other stuff or send some signals or whatever. But the signals are there. When I was young, I was like, why do guys have to do all the work? We gotta ask them out. We gotta do all the work. We gotta make the relationship happen. I just like to sit back and look good and be a girl, which is not at all what you want, because that's equally tough because you have to wait. But girls will go out and they'll give you hints. They'll tell you in subtext that they totally want to S your D, right? Or whatever, or explore the possibility of getting close to that situation. So I was at a rhythmic ceremonial ritual. It was and I say that not be referencing Back to the Future, but I don't recall what it was. It was either a band playing or a dance or something, and this girl that I was into was kind of, I think, into me. We were dancing whatever on and off, and it was, I think it might have been Halloween. People were dressed up, whatever. And so she had a candy necklace, that she was kind of wearing ironically, and she had those candy necklaces, and she came up to me and she was like, hey, Jeff, do you want some candy? And I was like, oh, I like this girl. Sure. Sure, I'll have some candy.
Well, I love candy.
Sure, I'll have some candy. And she was like, all right, but you can't use your hands. And I was
that's just totally inconvenient. I'm going to go home. Is that was your response?
What an inconvenient situation. No. I was mature enough at this point to realize maybe she's into me. Maybe she wants me to get close to her neck with my mouth, and hence get the candy. She's not concerned primarily with me getting candy into my bloodstream. She's kind of
close to your neck with her mouth.
No. She was wearing the candy.
Yeah.
So close to her neck with my mouth, and then I did the candy thing, and we were dancing, all that kind of stuff. It's and I was like, wow. So the night ended, we parted ways, whatever, and then it was like, okay, date time. We're gonna go on a date, whatever. So I invited her over to my house for the '90s version of Netflix and chill, which was a VHS player and some VHS tapes, right? Now, she came to my place where my parents lived, but we were in the basement. My parents went to bed. It was late at night. And we're Netflix and chilling. So we rented a lot of movies because Blockbuster Video was a big thing then. And we didn't own a lot of movies.
Yes.
So...
Yes.
I had 2 movies on VHS that I could choose from to show this girl. One was Forrest Gump,
Oh, great film.
but not a bad date movie, right?
Yeah.
The other movie was Full Metal Jacket.
You didn't seriously put in Full Metal Jacket, right? That's what you did.
So
Jeff.
knowing where the story's going, probably. Knowing Full Metal Jacket.
Just like I want to show her a better film than one of the best films ever made.
It was like, this is a /r/cringe story. So
You know, she's probably had a post on there about I was back at this guy's place. He's got 2 movies. He puts on Full Metal Jacket.
so I am not a smart man,
Yeah.
to quote Forrest Gump, because I would have chose Forrest Gump if I was a smart man.
Yeah.
So I had seen Forrest Gump recently. I'm like, you know what? This is a great movie, this Full Metal Jacket movie. You know, so it's, not thinking about what a date movie is like right now. So this is what I want to say. Netflix and chill. You guys have it so good because you go to romance section or some S, and you're like, hey, there's a romance, and then it tells you what you want to see, and then it tells you what the get laid section of Netflix
It's not even
probably
pull
exists. Like,
Schindler's List in
Schindler's List is not in that romance, So anyway, so we're watching Full Metal Jacket, and you might understand. Well, you've seen the movie, of course. Full Metal Jacket has 2 very distinct halves. Right? There's the first half of the movie. There's the last half of the movie. Now, we never made it past the first half of the movie because we turned it off because of some reasons I can't recall, but probably her protesting or hinting or whatever. Enough for me to pick up on that she didn't want to keep watching this movie. But it turns out that after watching a man off himself on a toilet, they're not in a really make-out kind of mood. Is it a woman thing or what? I don't know. So anyway, that is how my story ends. That is my Netflix and chill, and how it's so good these days. Have more than 2 movies to choose from, and choose the right one. It was like he chose poorly. Like it was the understatement of the century when I chose the wrong.
Your whole life could have been
Goblet of
different.
Christ. My whole
You
life
never
could have
know
been
how that might have butterfly effected, man. You could have been married to her. You could have 7 children that don't otherwise exist.
I know. If I had chosen the right movie,
I don't
Forrest
know if there's
Gump.
a more storybook choice I've ever heard of. What would have
I don't
happened
know, man.
then?
I don't know.
Forrest Gump, they get to the scene where his wife's dying and she just leans into him and is like, oh my God. And you just lean in and you're like,
And then it's like,
yeah. And and it snowballs from there, and then you can't imagine life without each other because you're still growing and growing together at the time.
or maybe she would have
have
been a
children.
terrible wife. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Or she might have been the best ever wife. I'm just, you just never know. I just mean, don't feel too much regret, Jeff.
But man, I liked this girl back in the old days.
That's funny, man. Forrest Gump.
She dug me until I just turned into like a complete
And for the record,
social noob.
I've seen Full Metal Jacket 2 times in my life.
I've seen it 80 times.
Really?
I don't know.
I find it unbelievably depressing. Like, it bums me out. Man.
Unless you look at how great of a film it is, and you're like,
Oh, no, but I can't look at it just from its scientific perspective.
I guess so,
I
yeah.
can't be like, oh, the cinematography is great. No,
There's
I'm
nothing uplifting.
There's nothing uplifting as a human being. I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, this is the most terrible thing. But Forrest Gump, I've seen that film 80 times. Like, oh, it's uplifting. I love this movie, man. I'm just like, oh yeah, you fucking rock.
although the stuff that happens, Jenny flushes her life down the toilet. Like
yeah, it's true. But
at
there's
least the guy
redemption.
strive. Yeah.
Yeah, there's redemption, man. It's totally opposite. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the skill behind Full Metal Jacket, but just as an audience member, it's a bummer, man.
The only
It's
good
a
point is the
bummer.
Mickey. I think the redemption is the Mickey Mouse song, as pointed out by Nakazul, dude. There's so and there's funny moments. It's that subtle humor. It's the humor in the face of something garbage.
Never releasing it, God Monster.
I laugh at Full Metal Jacket at parts. Yeah, guys. Anyway, there's there's my story. I've never told it. I don't think I've ever told that story to anybody.
Really?
It's just been a story that has just been like in my head that I've relived periodically in the cringe section of my brain. And I think, what
You want cringe? Well, we've only got 2 minutes left. Dude, you were talking about cringe level regrets from junior high and high school? Oh,
we only
God.
have 2 minutes left?
Yeah.
What?
We're supposed
Why?
To be, we were supposed to be done at 7. 3 to 7.
Okay, well, we can be done, or we could. Oh, okay.
I mean, we could have said it.
We could save it to the next stream
We could
because
say-
we're
yeah.
gonna stream again. You guys realize?
Dude, I've been like, I'm finding this party really boring. Do you want to just go walk along the river? And I'm like, nah, I'm kind of having fun. Level of like, how dumb are you?
Yeah. No.
You have no idea. I've so far exceeded your full
no,
jacket story. It's unbelievable.
They tell you in subtext, right? They tell you
or full text.
or full text. Yeah. They'll tell you like, you don't have to do all the work because they do the work. They're just not doing it as obvious as you. They're not like, hey, me like you, caveman, come here. Like it's not that.
But I do appreciate cavemen. I'm a big fan of cavemen. It's straightforward.
Cave women or cavemen.
I've cave person communication.
Caving,
Jesus.
straight, literal
gender identity, caveman communication, cave person communication. That's what I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
There's actually a funny video that went viral recently.
What about what?
About first dates. Just it was like pure rational first date. Hi, I find you attractive. Me too.
Literal. Yeah.
But part of the this sign to me triggered.
Caveman. Cave Nation. Well. Ooh, someone's knocking at the door.
Someone is, and I suspect that's a person who
is younger than us.
Possibly an offspring.
Possibly someone who is genetically related to Jared.
Yep. He's scratching at the door. He wants in, man. He wants in.
Or do I have visitors? I don't have visitors, do I here?
Impossible.
Impossible? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
If an episodic continuation is in the works, will it be based on the web series or the TV series? Will it pick up where they left off, or will it pick up from where the movie left off? Which I think, honestly, Samborg, is the single biggest question that any fan of the Pwnage property is asking or not asking.
And they're
out loud,
probably
but wants
hoping
to
a
know.
certain answer.
They are.
Right.
And we should straw poll that answer.
Mm-hmm. Do you want a new scripted content based on the web series or the television series?
Now, there's legality involved.
Mm-hmm.
There's personal desires involved on the parts of the creators. There's desires involved on the parts of the fans. It's a complex scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the one thing we can say almost definitively is that it wouldn't continue from the TV series. It would be from the web universe that is the movie and the web series. So the movie does take place in the web universe.
Mm-hmm.
And the web series was always, along with the movie, which is in the present timeline. So the movie is in 2015 anyways. I'm aware Poppy and Graves have had reworks.
Yes.
Since we shot them, I'm
Sorry.
Sorry
with
Sorry
an A. With an A.
that Graves and Poppy don't behave like that in the gameplay footage anymore. Talk to Riot.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly fine last summer. Now all of a
Right,
sudden.
changing things.
But that is the universe. Absolutely, we will continue, if we are to continue, making new Pwnage inside of. Right? That much is given.
Yep.
The format in which we make more Pwnage is ultimately what's still to be totally decided. And I add the word totally because we've narrowed down our options. And there are only a few ways that we can really proceed from here with Patreon, which we intend to use. And we haven't really locked those options in a presentable format, so I don't know if we should really talk about them now, but whatever we do, which you will hear about shortly, it will be in the web universe, not the TV universe, which I think would satisfy nearly every one of our fans, and really sorry to those of you that are not satisfied, but I'd love to incorporate both. I'd love to bring Melanie Scrofano into the web universe.
If she's available, she's busy on a TV show. Hey?
You know what? So she's the lead on Winona Earp, this big sci-fi series in the Sci-Fi Show. She is Winona Earp. The TV show is called Winona Earp. She's an unbelievably talented actress. Literally from the first time, and I'm using literally, I'm not stepping on that word. It is the only word we have that means what it means. Is the most talented actress I think I've ever seen in an audition capacity. We've auditioned a lot of actresses, and she walked in and just owned the audition to the point where we stopped, gave her a different character, sent her out into the room, came back, read that character, and we just gave her that character's part, the much bigger character, on a read that she had 20 minutes of preparation for, and she just got the part. I've never doubted, since working with her on the Pwnage TV series, that she would go on to be something really big. And I have told her this to her face over many lunches on set during filming Pwnage, that I know that she is destined for amazing things. And in fact, I think Winona Earp is still tippish of the icebergish for her career. I think that ultimately she will end up in film and be very, very big. But for that reason, actually, more for the
Great
reason
to get her back in the show.
more for the reason that I think she's really talented.
If
and
she's
underrated.
available.
But if she's super, super awesome and wants to come work with us, well, that's even better. But mostly because she's an amazingly down-to-earth human being, and then also amazingly talented. And you want to work with those people. It's good to work with people that have no ego and that are worthy of having a big ego. But other than that, actually, I would love to bring J. Adam back.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's a solid dude.
I just watched the TV series recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I like it, man. I think it's really good. It bummed me out.
We still have to do a dramatic read of our scripts.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we can. At any time. Sweet. And in fact, it'd be great if Melanie's on this show, in this set, and we do a dramatic read with her. Wouldn't that be amazing?
She might be too big and famous by then. We better act fast.
You mean by now? Yeah.
My only pitch is, Melanie, I've still got more Twitter followers than you. I think, right? As of last week, maybe?
You gotta
we gotta act fast.
Tweet her on a Follow Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll be the selling feature.
Yeah. Anyway. But it will be the web series. Anything we do from here on out will be the web series. 99.99% for sure. And outside of Melanie and J. Adam, there are no characters you'd be missing, right? Really? Right? The substitute Dave, as awesome as the actor was, I mean, really, people would prefer Dave.
If Dave's around, man.
It's unfortunate that Dave has no social media accounts, and there's no way for me to kind of rib him and say, spam him right now. All I've got is his personal email account, which he would not appreciate.
No, we're not going to share that.
I'm not going to share that for you to rib him, but if only he had a Twitter or an Instagram or a Snapchat or a Facebook or anything for you to actually rib him, but Dave just doesn't give an F, man.
Well, he gives an F about a lot of things, but he's a busy MFer.
Yeah, he really is.
He is such a busy MFer. He's got businesses he's running. He's jet setting between Johannesburg and Hong Kong, doing business deals in S. Man, I don't know.
Dinosaur Ducky asks, any chance of a ping pong stream with Dreaded Cone soon? Using the two Dreaded
I'll let you
Cone.
talk about
that. The offer has been made, my man. The offer has been made. In fact, offered this weekend. Offered him to be on set right now. He could have come and be like, hey. But it's out. The weather is getting acceptable. My ping pong table is back in my backyard. The offer is standing, man. You bring that to his chat. You let him know, man. The offer is standing here for sure. Ping pong anytime, Ty. Ping pong's on. Oh, love some ping pong. Definitely. Dreadicone is Canadian, yes. In fact, he's Torontonian. In fact, he's a short distance away from me, man. Also, as a promise from the last stream, thanks to the large donators on the last stream, who also bought us this set today, I promised that I would buy Dark Souls 3. Now, I knew that I wouldn't be able to do this before this stream because a ridiculous amount of work went into getting everything ready for today. But next week, the load is lightened now that all of this is out of the way. So on my life plan in the next week is to pick up a game called Dark Souls 3. And I'm hoping that that entices Ty to come down to my home and maybe do some kind of Dark Souls. Maybe when he gets bored of watching me be awesome at Dark Souls, watch me be awesome at ping pong kind of stream. But, I mean, that could be pretty fun. But I really, really, really want to play Dark Souls. There's a lot of dudes that I know and dudes whose gaming opinions I respect that really, really, really liked it. Fucker. And, yeah, man, I'm excited. Everybody else is maybe over it already. I don't know how big the community is, but for me, like, I will dive in now. Now I will get owned by Dark Souls. GG, buddy. Where was the lost banana throw footage going to fit? Asks Zimbico, which has to do with the fact that during the filming of the movie, we've talked about this on the stream previous, is that we actually lost a scene because of a data transfer error. So we had a gym scene with Jeremy and Doug, in which Jeremy's working out and Doug's working out, which Doug calls back to when he's chasing Jeremy. He says, well, he does the running at the gym. I mostly do the punching and kicking sometimes and throwing. The gym scene, I can't remember offhand which scenes it was sandwiched between. I'd have to look at the script again. But it was obviously before the scene in which Doug is chasing Jeremy down. It was before the first scene where they're shown coming home, scooting up to their house. So after the first day of work? Yeah. So letters. It was after the first day of work, in between that, and right before he walks in the house, then he sits on the couch and he says, you know, my audience is 20K Twitter followers. Cal, how many is yours? I believe it was right there. Right before that scene was him and Doug don't go directly home from work. They go to the gym to be those guys. They're so into work culture, so into fit culture. They go to the gym. And at the gym, Jeremy's on the treadmill, moves to the bike. Doug is doing sit-ups, punching weird, kicking. He's got his own exercise routine that he's developed on his own. That's where that scene took place. And there was a banana toss in that scene that we worked really hard on when we were filming, in which point Jeremy is on the bike and throws a banana across the gym, and during a sit-up, Doug just catches the banana, eats it as he goes back into his sit-up, punching weird Doug routine. And we lost that scene. It was literally lost to data. It was the end of the day, and that was it. The location didn't want to rent to us again because they had underestimated the amount of presence that a film crew might have in their gym. and we couldn't really make it work after that. Joel's schedule and the film schedule, we had to find a new location, try to work around Joel's schedule. And then, of course, just the cost, the sheer cost, flying Joel out again for the scene, renting another whatever, it just couldn't be done. If we had that Hollywood budget, it would have been a non-issue. But, you know, the movie is a very shoestring budget. I think that if you sit back objectively, if you know anything about the cost of making films of this caliber, with all of the extras we had, the big scenes that we had, the travel we had, it was really, really shoestring. Like, it was really difficult to pull off what we pulled off, and a lot of it was called in favors. I mean, there was a lot of favors called in to get what we were able to get for the scene. And we just didn't have the budget to be able to do things like reshoot an entire scene for several $1,000s. Sadly, that we are not a part of the studio system in which we just call that in, right? So it's still in the script. And if you're an Indiegogo backer, you get the script, you'll read it, be like, it's a funny scene. But it happens, man. Sometimes, sometimes it happens. What are you going to do? You're going to drink out of Raphael's head is what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. Are you or do you guys work on anything other than Pwnage? If so, what is it? Right now, this is the primary focus. We have worked on other things since Pwnage existed. But as of, I think, May 2016, this is the primary focus. I've always got a couple of projects in the background that I slowly work on. Nothing that I'm investing my hopes and dreams and ambitions into. But I still dream and toy with the idea of getting into game development. I really do think that I've got a couple of macro concepts that have never been made by anybody else that I really do think would be successful. And I'd love to get on board a big team and try to lend some creative direction to a big project to help steer it off the rails of genericism, and not copy paste. But I think that there's a lot of potential in modern gaming, and I think MOBAs have lent a lot to that in terms of proving to investors that multiplayer-focused games can actually be not only successful but the most successful. That's really, really exciting for me as a player and as a producer. Did Kyle try to hook up with Taji in the web series?
No.
On camera? No. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back.
Not even off camera, man. She's got a boyfriend / husband now.
Good husband.
She's got a husband. Would you consider including a Kyle scene in which he tries to make a move on a girl while watching Full Metal Jacket? Sure. We know how to write that scene. We know how it ends. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to shoot it, though, because it would be reliving memories that were not the best memory. Well, I don't know. It's not like it's all part of your development, right? You can't be all like super smooth all the time. You just gotta sometimes be a goofball and just end up single at the end of the week. That's how it happens. Fortunately, I know better now, and I can pass on wisdom. Don't watch Full Metal Jacket on a date. There you go. You're super smooth all the time, Ripster666. I see. I understand. Do you think nowadays games tend to be full casual compared to the early days of esport? Well, check out the movie in which we have a scene where they go to a game store, and then let me know what you think about that scene. Because games used to require skill. They were hard. You had to restart and get better yourself. I think it was the latest BioShock I played, and I was appalled at how hand-holding it was. I had just gotten some new item in the game, and I knew I needed to unlock this gate with this item that was over there. And that's some sound coming from outside. Anyway, I got this new item, and I knew I had to go unlock this gate. But I liked the art. I wanted to look around a bit. So I got the item. I wanted to look around a bit. I was like looking around, looking over there, moving around in the game. And it was like, ding, ding, alert. Like over here, like the gate was flashing. Use the item you just got on the gate. Just a thought. Just like, and it was like, come on, guys. You're so hand-holding that you didn't even give me a chance to look around at this amazing game you built. And the whole game was like that. It was like, you know, you go from scene to scene and you're fighting people, whatever, but you never have to really figure anything out. And maybe there's a puzzle or something or some, you know, but it was so like, I don't know. It's like holding your hand through some first-person movie, right? Mm-hmm. You're good?
I'm good.
I heard a really loud hide-and-seek countdown outside.
Yeah, everyone's out playing. Dinner's starting. I think we
Nice.
got to put a 10-minute cap on this.
10-minute cap. We're going to sign off.
We were going to sign off 18 minutes ago. We're
I was
already
just wondering if you were the one that was seeking of this
No,
hide-and-seeker.
no, that's little T and his uncle.
Uh-huh.
They're out
I
there.
see.
Everybody's out there. They're a bit holding off on the barbecue because they thought we ran.
No.
Because the official time was 7. They're like, okay, they're holding off. So I'm like, okay, we'll be soon.
You mean us getting delicious, amazing food in our stomachs is being held off by
Celebrating
to these people?
What we could do.
We always eat on, but we don't want to do that. What? Oh yeah, we could. That's a good idea.
I mean, why not, right?
We could play the movie a second time and walk away.
And walk away. And then
Just walk away.
have the stream end after. Because
You might as well show the movie again. Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
We're already live.
Maybe some people caught the last half. They want to see the first half. You can do that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
If you guys want to do that, because a lot of people missed, I think, the first parts. We'll
Mm-hmm.
throw the movie on, and then we'll walk away.
We'll chow some burgers.
We're gonna eat some barbecue. We'll hang out with our families, eat some food, and
We'll maybe do a real quick sign off at the end of the second.
maybe
playthrough. Maybe
if we'll stumble in here for a quick sign off.
Yes.
Because an encore. That's the word.
Encore. Here we go. Liv. By round of applause. Do we want an encore?
How do you applause in Twitch? Hey,
Nice.
G Grandi, thanks for subscribing, man.
Cheers, Gigrande. All right, we're going to do an encore. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks for watching the movie the first time. Hope you stick around for the second time. Thanks for listening to our stories.
Yeah.
And we dig this. We dig this. We dig how it's going. What's going on.
It's awesome. I'm gonna just get a set over here.
Jared's setting up
Don't
the
mind
movie.
me.
We're going to play it again, second time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this one here. I'm gonna do this. Here we go. Look at that.
And subtitle. Or maybe we don't
No,
need some.
I'm gonna have to go in
we're
here
gonna do some
though.
subtitles and do some stuff. And you're going to cut off our...
Look at us. We look fantastic. It's a nice set.
Hey,
right?
well, yeah. We know we
Lyle,
tried
thank
to
you
go
if you're
pro.
out there.
Cheers, Lyle.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it. Thanks, Lost Family.
Awesome.
No
All right, guys.
No name drops to tell me, but thank you.
We're going to be streaming soon. We'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, probably next week.
Probably
actually.
next week.
And within the next couple of weeks.
We'll have lots of stuff to talk about. And
Yeah. Expect the Patreon, I guess.
Patreon's going to happen. Then we'll let you know what we're up to.
Yeah. And then ultimately, if our plan is good enough, it's up to you.
It is up to you.
What do you want to see?
What do you want us to do?
What do you want us to do?
Who knows? All right, guys. Been a great stream. Maybe we'll sign off after the second run through the movie, but we're going to sign off now for sure.
All right. Bye. Oh, I'm going to switch over. Hold on.
Bye-bye. What? The second time was even better tonight. I hope. How many people watched it twice through in one night? How many people? I wish I could see the Twitch chat.
We can't see the Twitch chat because I need to move this over here.
that's right.
Close that down.
That's right.
Pop
Change
that
stuff
up.
around.
I popped up. There we go. Okay. VLC. Yeah.
What?
If you're not using VLC, what's wrong with you, man? Seriously, were you a QuickTime noob? Seriously, honestly, if you have subscribed and you use QuickTime, unsubscribe if that's possible. Write Twitch right now, support email, ask for your money back. We don't want QuickTime users subscribing to this channel. It's VLC or bust, baby.
QuickTime is not
Come
supported
on.
anymore. I don't know.
Come
QuickTime
on.
is iffy, sketchy, kind of.
Garbage. What are you talking about?
Garbs.
It's garbage.
Pure garbs, in fact. It's a lot of
Um,
garbs.
It's all VLC, baby. Media Player Classic Master Race is fluky. I used to be in that boat until I learned about VLC, man. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're 8 years behind the times. But hey, man, better than being a QuickTime user, right? So, the barbecue was amazing. I overate. I think I'm gonna throw up. I had 1 hamburger, 2 hot dogs, and a bunch of fixins on the side, and literally, like, I feel sick.
Fixins are the best, though.
I
right?
love you
They're
guys.
so worth.
That was
But you
my
know what?
fifth
It's a
time.
bit of
It
a
was
celebration
amazing.
for us today.
Great
This was
work. Can't wait
a
for
big
what the
milestone
future
for
holds.
us, a big hurdle. We've been
Also,
stressing about
Jeff,
this for the last couple of
movie
weeks,
looks
getting all
great
this
in
ready.
4K.
Just the set
Good job.
and the show and getting everything in order was a big deal. Tomorrow I'm going to sleep in all the way till probably 9:30.
O'clock.
O'clock?
9 o'clocks.
Yeah. Huge, dude. I'm going to watch Game of Thrones season 6, episode 4 for the 5th time, maybe, as I fall asleep. And get ready for tomorrow, baby. Get ready for tomorrow. Oh, man.
It's a good show. If you don't watch Game of Thrones, watch Game of Thrones.
This is actually a very exciting week as a Game of Thrones tennis fan. To have Game of Thrones on Sunday
Both.
and the French Open start Monday. And to have this be, as far as the last how many ever weeks are concerned, the easiest week we've had in a long time. I'm just going to relax, watch my Game of Thrones, watch some tennis, maybe play some tennis. And we're going to build the future of Pwnage, which is a little bit more relaxed than what the last few weeks and months have been, right?
Look at that. Subs. I love you guys. That was my 5th time. It was amazing. Great work. Can't wait for the future, what the future holds. And the movie looks great in 4K. Man.
Jeff, great work, Jeff.
That's right. I held that camera pretty good.
It's great. Great work, Jeff.
A lot of Ks in the way I held the camera. And
Cool.
got it there looking good with the color timing.
It's really,
and,
really great work, Jeff.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Jared.
So, I'm gonna. Cool.
Jared feels left out.
Glad you made a good movie, Jeff.
That's right.
Glad everybody likes the movie, Jeff.
In fact, you should be thanking Jarrett because he is the one who... I thought 4K was a good idea. Jarrett thought it was imperative. And he was like, whatever it takes, we're going to do 4K. Has to be 4K. We're going to get the camera that does 4K. We're going to get the stuff that does 4K. We're going to release in 4K. And I was like, yeah, 4K would be good, but, you know, it's going to be a bit more expensive. And it's like, nope, it's worth it. Jarrett was really pushing for 4K, and he did push for
I
it.
show stopped that 4K. I'm like, I'm done with the project. I'm
Jarrett's like,
walking.
I'm leaving.
I'm walking. Cast a new Jeremy if it's not 4K.
That's right. So
Not quite that far, but
you could thank Jarrett for the 4K too, and then he'd be like, next movie is 8K, 8K or bust, or I leave, I walk off set. If it's not 8K, I'm
for
being
this kind of
filmed in.
project, though, I mean, not looking 20 years down the road, but you need to be relevant. I
Look
knew
what
it.
you did. You made him feel bad. Now he's gonna make you feel bad by donating another $10. Another $10.
He gave me half as much as he gave you. Well, as soon as you donate a third time, the remaining $10 were good. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Lethal Blue. I'm kidding. Please don't actually donate anymore. Please.
Unless you're secretly Elon Musk.
Unless you're secretly Elon Musk, and then give me
keep donating $10.
some of my Model 3 reservation back. I'll take it.
There
But
you go, man.
or because he spelled my name wrong, he could.
Japan has broadcast 8K. Wow.
What? Japan doesn't
Wow.
have broadcast 8K.
Apparently they do.
Is Joachim Goat yet? No! Will Goat Biz take him out? I guess it's wait to be seen.
Nice.
Honestly, if there's any year Djokovic is going to win the French Open, isn't it this year, Jeff?
Come on, I don't know.
By the way,
Djokovic, whatever.
it's one of those moments in life I realized how big of a Roger Federer fan I am when yesterday he announced that he is not, he's withdrawn from the French Open this year.
Why?
Injury.
Okay.
He had knee surgery late last year, and his back he pulled about a month ago, He competed in, I think, Barcelona, and then it was Rome, right, last month. Rome, he played in the second round. He was obviously injured, but he played his match out because in his career, he has never retired from a match mid-match. So he played Dominic Thiem, who's great.
Yeah.
And he was obviously hurt, but he played the match out, lost, and just went off the court. And everyone was like, "Is Roger okay?" And he was obviously injured.
Yeah.
But he didn't retire. He played the match out, and he still almost won because he's fucking Roger. Now he will not play a match before the match starts. He will mid-tournament suddenly draw a tournament saying I'm injured, but he's never in the middle of a match given up. And this is big because there are 4 Grand Slams a year: Australian, French, Wimbledon, U.S. Open. There are 4 major tennis tournaments a year. They're the only 4 that have 5 sets. They're the only ones that most casual tennis fans care about. 4 tournaments a year. Roger Federer has attended 65 straight Grand Slams, which is over 16 years straight as a professional athlete. He's never missed one.
Yeah.
16 years! Now, most professional athletes only have 10-year careers. But Roger Federer is Roger Federer. And he's breaking that streak and not even playing his first round match.
Because he might not be able to play the best he can play. Is that it?
He knows he can't play the best he can play. He's got a back injury. And the whole point of this was that I know I'm a big Roger Federer fan when I heard this news and I choked back tears.
You
And
had tears.
I actually
because of a rich man's career.
Yes, he makes $60 million a year. He's worth $500 million.
He's gonna lose some money this year.
It's not about money though.
But
it's so beyond money, man. He's such a champion. Roger Federer is such a champion human being. He's such an ambassador to the sport. It's so beyond money. And I know how much it's the drama. I know how much I couldn't imagine how hard it was for him to make that decision when now this is a record, by the way, in tennis. It's a record by a long shot, 65 straight. But now, some guy one day is going to beat him because he could have had another 10, 20 on the record because he's nowhere near retiring because he's in such good shape. It was brutal. And I have been looking forward to French Open. Taryn has been looking forward to it. The whole family has been waiting for the French Open for like 2 months now. I'm like, we're all talking about Roger. Maybe Roger will get the Grand Slam. Maybe Roger win the French Open. And just to find out yesterday, the day before, that Roger is not playing for the first time in 16 years. He's just not playing. It's devastating, man. It's devastating.
You know what? At some point, he's got to just not play and then not play ever again.
Yeah.
Like it's
I know.
today. Today is the injury not play.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of sports professionals,
Leave the blue. Another $10. Don't challenge me to 1v1. Don't challenge me to 1v1. Don't.
because you'll get wrecked. He's saying you'll get wrecked big time. I guess. It's my guess anyway.
Which game and or sport? Because let me tell you, it starts with T-E-N-N-I-S or maybe L-E-A-G-U-E or an
I was at the park
S-T-A-R-T.
during the first
Chances are
showing.
I'm not
Glad
getting
you
that.
guys showed it
He
again.
likes your cool Raphael.
Quick imperative
The movie is
question.
amazing. I
How
hope there
cool
comes a
is it
second
to
movie
have
sometime in the
Raphael
future. The
mug?
cute Fennec says
Okay,
$20. Thanks,
seriously,
dude.
did
Wow.
you guys announce
I hope so
anything about
too.
the future
Probably
of
before another
PP?
movie, there'll be something else to keep you entertained. Beauregard. Oh, Beauregard, man.
Mr. Dovergaard.
I was at the park during the first showing. Glad you guys showed it again. Quick, imperative question. How cool is it to have a Raphael mug?
Cooler than my mug.
Seriously, did you guys announce anything about the future PP?
Not really.
Not really.
This is an announcement, though, isn't it? We're not just going to use the set once.
It's all been vague that way.
Yeah.
We didn't have any specifics ready, but we specifically said that we will have specifics ready within the next month. And we did happen to spend a lot of time and money building this, and we look forward to the future of the show. And unfortunately, we don't have too much to say. We don't have much to say. Here comes the movie. $10. The implication was don't challenge me because I'll win. Kappa. I get Kappa. I'm Hitman. I got Kappa. That's cool. What he's saying is I'm a total nub. That's what
You're
Kappa
a total
means.
nub. You're
Yeah, Kappa.
nubbing it up.
And then Lightning PXL 1337. Kapow!
Is that a fast running shirt in the back? Says Ratatox.
What? Where do we see that?
He's right. He's spotted the
It is.
fast running shirt. Number 37, High Park Hounds,
Yeah,
Jeremy.
it is.
Fast running shirt. So, Jared, all this talk about professional sports got me
Yes.
thinking. So, I was at a garage sale a yard sale. For those. I love you, Jared. Watched my first PP 2005. Makes me feel old. Feels bad, man. Yeah.
Feels bad, man.
Thank you for the $10.
Watched my first BB in 2005. You're 11 years older. Dude's like 18 now.
So
Love you too, man.
So I was at a yard sale / garage sale, and I saw a book by what's that cycling guy's name?
Armstrong?
Yeah, Armstrong. And
Lee Armstrong? No, wait.
No.
Les Armstrong? No. You know what I'm thinking?
Anyway.
Oh, literally, I'm thinking Cheater Armstrong. That's all that's in my head. Cheater Armstrong. Lance
Armstrong. So
okay.
Lance Armstrong wrote a book apparently called How I Do It. And he published it. He published it. And I see it in this like 10-cent bin in garage sales. I'm like,
dude, How I Do It. Animation by Jared Kale.
Well, I bet it's Everything But How I Do It is the title of the actual book now when they republish it. If they reprint that book, which they might not ever. But Lance Armstrong wrote a book. Apparently, if someone could find it on Amazon or whatever and link it in chat, it'd be funny.
How I Do It.
Stretch Armstrong. But apparently, I saw this book and it was like, I picked up and like, I bet, it's probably not really how he did it, is it? It's funny.
The truth is, he guaranteed still had to train 12 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Of
designed
course,
his entire
because
life.
everyone else is doing the same thing.
Yes, and the only thing that gets you ahead, that last 1%, is the drugs.
Not anymore. Do you know about this? It's the latest developments.
Oh no.
You know those FLIR cameras, FLIR, whatever, or FILR. There's these consumer infrared cameras you can buy. You've heard of those?
Oh no. Oh yes, or what?
So, you can buy an infrared camera that shows you the temperature of everything you're looking at. And apparently some fan was filming cyclists in the Tour de France going by. Oh. And there is evidence of a motor and battery.
Yes.
Did we talk about this on stream before? Maybe
no, but there was a huge person.
There was a huge thing.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, your bike frame is a massive battery. I can tell by the heat signature.
Yeah.
And there's a motor pushing your freaking wheels. I can tell by the heat signature.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, so that's the new thing is like, yeah, you have all the drugs, all the doping, all the everything that can't be traced, and you have a freaking motor in your Tour de France bike.
There was a girl busted recently. She was, someone in the chat can correct me. Some European country. They're all the same. These Europeans, right? They're all in bed right now. Yeah, they're all in bed. Yeah, it was Belgium or Austria or something. I think it was Austria. I don't know. But she was the national champion. Then she was in some European international, and they busted her. She had in her seat post a motor.
Wow.
That helped in some non-zero way push her wheels forward. And all you need at that level is the tiniest
is the 3%.
It doesn't need to power your whole wheel. It doesn't need it just needs any help. And that's all you need. And she was she's not only ejected from competitive cycling, she had every title stripped, national title stripped, like everything stripped. But as soon as that happened, my first thought was, which is funny, how
many people didn't get caught?
How many people didn't get caught? Yep. How many people right now have motors in their bikes in the Tour de France? Like, are you kidding me, man?
It's just her. She's the only one.
Oh, she's the only one ever. She developed the technology herself. Yeah, this teenager from Austria developed the technology. No, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, it's really, really crazy. Yes. And there's a big contingency of tennis fans that believe that every top 100 player is doping. That there's absolutely no way you can compete in the top 100 unless you're doping. That we should expect them to be, and that we shouldn't judge them for doping.
The All Drug Olympics on Saturday Night Live,
All Drug
right?
Olympics,
It's
like,
your arms off.
How can you get mad at Sherpa for doping? They're all doping. Obviously, Murray dopes. Look at Djokovic, he dopes. But you'll see. There's athletes like Federer and Murray and Nadal who are very vocal about increasing testing. They're like, it's ridiculous how little we're tested.
Because they're not doing it. Yeah.
Because they're not doing it. And that's what you would think. But then at the same time,
isn't that the best?
In the States, who's trying to pass all the laws against gay people? All the homosexual Republican senators who are taking dicks in the bathroom, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So maybe
Seeing all those Ds.
Yeah. So then you got to think like, wait a minute, is it possible that Murray and Federer and all these guys, like,
As a smoke screen.
it's a big smokescreen because they're actually the most up top? I actually don't believe so, but I'm biased. I really love these guys. I'm a big fan, but at the same time, you have to look to the evidence, and that is typically the people most outspoken against something are the ones that are closeting that something. Right? So
It happens many a time.
it's logic, you know.
It's true. It's true. Huh.
Some nice colors, don't you think?
It is.
Look at this.
I've been thinking about a lot about the lighting on and off here,
I can tell. Yeah.
and
Keep looking over at the lighting. Oh,
this monitor is actually cutting down on your fill. That monitor placement right there
oh, it is. Yeah.
significantly,
Yeah.
but it's not bad. I took down my key here, but I think this looks good, right, Jared? You might be looking dark because of your shirt.
Could be. When I look this
But-
way, it's hard for me to see that way. Is it coming my fill? Is it coming my fill? I don't know, but I suspected as much when I put it there.
But it's
I don't know.
it's
I can try to put it right here in the future.
it's okay, or I can flag the fill from me here a little bit with something else, and then because if I go back, I'm nicely lit, nice, good,
Daddy Poochie, subscribe. Thanks, Daddy Poochie, man. Access to them icons.
Yeah, man.
Next time we stream, we'll play some games. This was a special stream, but we'll go back to playing some games. And
Yeah, guys. What
Jared
a good
looks
stream.
a lot more natural. Jeff's lighting looks a lot warmer.
Yeah, a little bit. We got some weird, color filters going on with our color temperatures, but Jared's got the real incandescent fill.
That's true. Blocked by a real monitor, cutting off like everything. But
Yeah. But it's good. It's good, man.
Jared, why isn't the movie free to play with microtransactions?
You tell me how to microtransact a movie.
Yeah, I guess this is kind of a way. Maybe we'll move into that.
You can put Snapchat filters that distorts people's faces and makes them look funny
That's
in
true.
the
That's
movie.
true. Yeah. Unlock how hot
5
she
cents.
really is.
Yeah.
Unlock Jeremy's balls. Right? You can put that on the movie. Yeah.
Uncensor the balls.
Uncensor
50,
the balls.
50 cents or, 65 RP.
Did you guys like Radiohead's new album? Did you listen to Radiohead's new album?
I did.
Yeah. What do you think?
It hasn't gripped me. I haven't listened to the whole thing, which is remarkable in itself.
Yeah.
I kind of think I don't know, I listened to the first few songs and I'm like, it sounds like B-sides from their previous albums. And, I'm just like, yeah, it's Tom York, he's singing. Phil Six Bot, 7 months, nice dude.
Thanks, Fiddleball, man.
And, it's like, yeah, it's Radiohead, it's Nigel Godrich, and but I'm not I don't know.
Oh, sick, you guys are back. I love at the end of the stream. How many hours in? 2 shows of the movie. In comes TL33. I feel the same way, though.
Yeah,
I
about
do.
the album, because we haven't talked about
Dude,
this.
no, we haven't.
We haven't, and that's
Actually-
that's telling of what we think about it, right?
Exactly.
You haven't thought to brought it up. I haven't
Yeah.
thought to bring it up.
Since it's come out, I've listened to that album about 4 times beginning to end. And I've listened to Funeral 5, which I've already listened to 4,000
You're going back in time with Arcade Fire, and you're not.
Right. Yeah. And it's just that it's lacking a lot of melody. And I guess the tone in general, it's very ambient.
Yeah.
And there's nothing all that energizing, right? There's nothing that makes you want to move and dance, that makes you want to go through life and makes you want to step out and walk around and put in your headphones and whatever. It's very ambient. It's and depressing. Like it feels like the kind of music that you would have on in the background. If I'm making a movie, I'd put it in a scene in which I'm watching my mother die or something, or I'm watching time pass, right? I find it a bit of a downer.
That's an accurate description, I think. Yeah.
Right, it's time passing. It's just a bit of a bummer, and then I put on again. Like I'll go back. Like lately, I've really been into Arcade Fire Funeral because it's been so many years since I first listened to it, and I got so into Suburbs because I still think Suburbs might be the best album ever made, and Reflector maybe number 2. Like I'm just so into that, and I go back. I'm like, oh yeah, Funeral. It's been years. Like I never really. Oh, I should have listened to this more. And then I get to Arcade Fire. I'm like, well, you know, Funeral and Suburbs and whatever, and then of course In Rainbows and Kid A and Amnesiac and King of Limbs and OK Computer. All these albums, like, and all the 2 albums, everything, they make me want to live, right? But the last radio, and it reminds me of Tom York's solo albums, which give me the same feeling.
Which you're still just like, okay, put it on, forget about it, and it'll fill the space.
Exactly. They're put it on and forget about it albums. They're not driving me to live. There's something to help me pass the time. It's a really big difference, and it's really kind of depressing. And there's a couple songs, I mean, they're nice songs, but again, like, melodically, they're not driving me. They're helping me sustain the boredom of life.
And, you know, are you setting a high bar there, or are you saying that most music makes you want to get up and dance and live, and, you know?
No, most music doesn't, but a lot of music does.
Okay.
Like, I'm not setting a high bar. Like, I would really like some type of life to the music. Like, it feels like when I listen to it, I'm like, everyone making this is really fucking depressed right now, is the impression I get. None of them have a raison d'être.
Yeah.
They're sitting there and they're like, well,
should we make another album? Maybe let's just let's just do it.
It sounds like a Tom York solo album.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. It really does.
Yeah.
You know, he's had a couple of solo albums, and they're kind of the same way. Very electronic, very just ambient. Okay, I'll put this in the background while I chat with my friends. It's not driving you to live, though.
Yeah, I found Tom York's solo stuff was very lacking in the acoustic feel, especially in the percussion, and, you know, just... Well, not necessarily acoustic, but like the organic feel, like, you know, Johnny Greenwood's guitars, and, you know, but yeah, like I think I don't know what is lacking specifically, other than those sort of major macro criticisms that you've just said, which is like nothing grabs me, it seems ambient, and
the album was over, and I couldn't believe it was over already. Yeah. It's almost like I didn't.
What's a memorable, like, sing a track from it, right?
Yes.
It's like, well, I don't know. I guess
the first time you ever heard "Wake Up" on Funeral, the first time you're halfway through the album and "Wake Up" comes on, and it kind of blows you away. It gives you goosebumps and shakes you up. It shakes up your soul, and yeah. I mean, there's
or the first time I heard
"Let Down."
I heard Suburbs.
Karma Police, right?
Oh yeah, like, dude, like Paranoid Android. Oh my god. Oh my
dude,
god. I was watching the music video on Munch Music, and I was like, the music was like, what the fuck is this? I was gripped by throughout the whole thing. I was like, holy shit, this song. Like, and then it changes at the end, and you go to the ending of it, and like, what is Paranoid Android? What is this Radiohead band? And it was that band that our friend had been listening to since the Bends, that we were like, okay, that's weird alternative music. I like grunge, you know. But like, it blew me away. First time I heard the Suburbs. The first time I heard Yoshimi versus the Pink Robots. Like, you're like, those are tracks that are like, wow, this is music, and this is new, and this is immediately the first 5 seconds appealing. And that's rare. Obviously, that's really hard to do, and a lot of things have to come together for that to happen. And it will never happen in the music that, you know, I personally create or my friends create in their lifetimes, right? And so it's, you know, but like
I think it's on the Pwnage soundtrack, man.
All right,
yeah. Hey, you can't declare it. I'll declare it, man. It's there. I was putting together a playlist today, and it's there. But yeah.
Hey, if the Pwnage soundtrack affected you guys in that way, thank you.
More than the latest.
I'm glad you appreciate that.
And I'm not biased against. I'm biased toward, if anything. I mean, I've been a lifelong Radiohead fan. I mean, literally since the Bends, I've been a huge fan. Mm-hmm. But I kind of felt it coming. The King of Limbs never really gripped me the way In Rainbows did. In Rainbows was the last album I really, really got into. But But even in the Kid A Amnesiac days, it was kind of slipping a bit. Like there was a lot of missed tracks where I just end up hitting skip. Whereas when it came to OK Computer, I just put the album on. That's it. Like I'm done, beginning to end, just every track. And that's how Arcade Fire is for me still. Like, you know, excluding Neon Bible Man, it's like Funeral, Suburbs, Reflector, every track. I can just put all three albums on in a row, and I'm just I'm just moved every track, just loving every track, the diversity and. 332, huh?
Is this... Oh, nice.
334, what's happening?
Lots of notifications here.
Lots
Look
of
at
files
that.
and stuff.
Oh, there's Ryan.
He should thank his brother for the barbecue. Hey, retweet that. Sure, why not? Yeah, why not? That's funny.
It's a lot of notifications, lots of seconds ago.
Yeah, Down is the new up, man. Even that's great, man. I really loved In Rainbows. Like, for a while, it was absolutely my favorite album of all time. But, yeah, the last two Radioheads, the last two Arcade Fires have been so amazing. And Arcade Fire is very consistent, by the way. And if they maintain their track record, unless I'm wrong, this November we should expect a new Arcade Fire. It's hard to believe. But they don't seem to miss every 3 years. Right?
Yeah, no, I hope.
You know, say it was 2.5 years ago was Reflector. 3 years exactly before that was Suburbs. 3 years exactly was Funeral. Can you imagine, Jeff? Jeff? November? New
Arcade Fire.
Yeah. It's come to the point where a new Radiohead album is coming out. I'm like, oh, it's pretty exciting, but I'm like, I had this feeling it's going to be exactly what it was. You know, I came in, I'm like, oh, just don't be this ambient, weird, electronic, weird Tom York thing where there's no melody, nothing driving, nothing making me want to live life fuller than I am now. But I know that when an Arcade Fire album comes out, or up until now, it's going to change my life. It's going to become a new soundtrack for my daily existence, which literally 3 albums in a row have become, right? I mean, especially Suburbs into Reflector. Those were just, you know, obsessions, complete obsessions, all day, every day. Couldn't stop listening to them.
What's that? Headshot!
Yeah, man.
What's happening with our Twitter?
Donating
It
for
exploded
deep music
recently.
discussion.
What's
The
happening
same
with our
thing
Twitter,
that
man?
happened to Radiohead also happened to the Flaming
look
Lips,
really
one
excited.
of my
Well,
all-time
no, I'm just-
favorite bands.
I'm just
It
doing this
almost
because...
seems
See,
like
I
the
want to know how many
longer
people
a
are
band
watching,
goes
and
on,
we
the
didn't
more
have that in
muddled
our
their
setup.
music becomes.
So here... And then this, I can go here. And there's our setup with people watching, right?
Yeah.
Now, we had a big Twitter explosion recently. A bunch of people are like 7 seconds ago, 8 seconds. Like,
Weird.
it was 300 notifications on our Twitter.
But nothing's really changed with the people in our chat room. That's weird.
I don't know. Maybe Twitter's exploding. And we stopped showing the movie. We're not showing it again. There's no way. Unless Elon Musk tweets.
Dude,
and
if Elon
he's
Musk
like, guys, I
tweets
heard you
right
guys
now-
talked about Tesla in the movie.
Dude, honestly, I was going to say, we should clip that. Or maybe one of you can clip that and send it to Elon Musk, man. Because I am actually a really big fan. I'm not a fan of any actors or writers. Literally, I'm a fan of no one who's still alive, I think. Maybe Win Butler and the rest of Arcade Fire. I'm kind
But
of
George
fan of-
Carlin, you know, like...
But really, anyone who's...
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Like-
Anyone who I might cry when I met is dead.
Yeah.
Literally. Has such an influence on my life that I might cry if I met. Except Elon Musk. I don't think I'd cry if I met Elon, but... Like, where respect meets fandom... Like, it's insane. Just the sheer amount of respect I have for Elon Musk and the love I have for what he's doing, his quest, his vision. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Had to put him in the movie in that regard. And one day, man, hope we can meet Elon.
I met Elon already.
Yeah?
Yeah, in 2008.
You met him? You hung out?
I did. I was at his housewarming party.
Did you
in
chat
2008.
with him?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, "Hey, nice to meet you." And I heard he was doing some car thing, and he pulled up the next day in his Tesla Roadster.
Yeah.
And I remember it being like he pulled up and he was chatting with his sister who I was working with, and he pulled away, and I remember like being like stunned at how quiet the car was, because it was just all you hear is tires rolling, and
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's this insane sports car.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just rolls away in this car. But like, yeah, we went to his he bought a house in LA, and you walk in, and it was like open air. Like the foyer was open air, and there was a fountain in the foyer in this big LA house. And you
So
walk in,
LA,
and it's just like, oh, so where do I take off my shoes and stash them? And you're obviously
don't
like, it's
take
like
off
you
your
don't,
shoes.
because it's California. And then, so we're in the kitchen. It's a massive kitchen. You know, we're hanging out at the party and whatever. And we went into his home theater. And his home theater was like suddenly like super dry acoustics. You couldn't hear any reverb at all. It was perfectly acoustically treated. Like better than a public movie theater in acoustics, in seating, and amplification, and projection. And I was just like blown away by this home theater. And we ended up like talking a lot in the home theater, like hanging out, you know, having drinks and whatever else. But yeah, anyway, it was before I like understood he was going to be a god walking among us. Like, you know, he was gonna go to space and build the best car ever. You know, because it was 2008. But like,
Could have been you, man. Right? Do you feel that way? Could have been like, hey, man, I got some physics in me.
well,
I could have,
for
maybe
all time, for the rest
instead
of my
making
life,
people laughed on something that actually mattered.
dude, honestly, like, dude, the regret I have saying, can I have a job? Like, not saying, so hey, nice to meet you. Can I have a job? Just any job? Just, you know, at that point in his, but of course, at that point, I don't know if you know his story with Tesla and whatever, but he almost went bankrupt, and you know, he had to beg the investors for more money because they didn't have the cash flow he expected and all this stuff. And you know, Tesla almost tanked, and he took all the risk himself. And you know, with that, like,
well, he
it
believed
was,
in it. Yeah.
and he believed in it. And but
It's rare that you hear these stories.
He didn't glide through building Tesla. It was there was
okay.
ups and downs.
Do you know anyone who's glided through building multi-billion-dollar corporations?
Yeah.
Like, all of these stories have a similarity in them.
And then Jeff went Full Metal Jacket. I'm like, hey, Elon Musk, instead of asking you for a job, do you want to watch Full Metal Jacket? Basically, sorry, guy. People don't build stuff.
No, I was going to say that
It's not A to B.
You'll be I think you'd be hard pressed to find any story of anyone that's gone from nothing, which they were, not nothing, but that much upward mobility socially to come from a lower class family into building a multi-billion-dollar corporation without massive risk. He didn't come into the world with billions of dollars of investment capital like Donald Trump and then blow it all and being a total nobody moron like Donald Trump. He, in fact, did the complete opposite, came in with nothing and built all that because he took massive risks. The stories of him and his brother showering at the YMCA with their $100 a month membership because they had no place to live. Living in their car, but they had to shower there, so they'd literally go and shower in public spaces in order to make it work.
And then build PayPal.
And then build PayPal because literally, man, again, if someone can provide examples of people that have done so much to change the world and have that kind of upward mobility, that didn't take those kind of risks, that didn't have that kind of passion, that wanted an easy path where, well, if I don't get a comfortable paycheck next month, I'm not going to keep doing this thing. Like, no, these guys are like, I'm going balls out. That's it. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to build this amazing thing, and I'm going to take this amazing risk. And 9 out of 10 people, or 9 out of 100, you've actually never heard of because it didn't pan out, and they're actually on the show right now. But for the 1 in 100 that did, hey, we're hearing their stories, and they've all got the same story. Here's my massive risk. Here's the crazy chances I took. Here's what happened. And anyone who didn't take that path, their story is, well, my grandfather, my great-grandfather
Built an empire.
built a thing, and I kind of just
Now I'm running for president.
inherited that thing. Those are the two stories I've ever heard in my life, is from the top down, here's what I did with it, or from I took insane casino-style risk, and I built it into this. And
It's
and
funny.
that's it.
Yep. Donald Trump takes the opposite of casino risk. He is the house. There's no risk.
And he still lost, though.
Yeah.
He's like negative 800 million or something. If you look at the worth that his family was at before he...
Well, we'll see what his worth is after he's finished his run for president.
Well, it can only go down if he's self-financing because he's not winning.
It
Don't
costs
regard-
$300 million to run.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry,
listen,
go-
another 300 million he's lost for a family. Dorgard donating for deep music discussion. The same thing that happened to Radiohead also happened to the Flaming Lips, one of my all-time favorite bands.
Yes, after Yoshimi.
It also seems like the longer a band goes on, the more muddled their music becomes. Totally agree, except so far for Arcade Fire. That's the thing. Like, I'm actually really worried about their next album. Not for any rational reason, only because every other band I've ever loved has experienced the same thing. So is their next album going to be something muddled? A lot of people were actually disappointed in Reflector, which blows my mind, and a lot of people weren't. I am in the category of the latter. I think the Reflector was absolutely brilliant, groundbreaking, and made me get up and live my life, like motivated me, man. Oh, damn, I could listen to that all day, every day. There's tracks on the album for every type of feeling I have in my body and everything I want to do in a day. It was incredible. I just don't know how they can top that. Dude, Funeral, into Suburbs, into Reflector. How do you top that? How do you even stay level with that? How do you stay level with that? Like
Kendrick Lamar's got the same problem, man.
dude, the ask. Yeah, I've listened to Kendrick Lamar. He's not in the Arcade Fire category, man.
Not in my opinion, but
He's not even.
But he's got the same.
He's got a decent album that makes me go.
He's got the same trajectory.
Yeah.
You know.
But come on, like Kendrick Lamar, Arcade Fire. That's a big gap there.
Well, to a lot of people, Kendrick Lamar is their Arcade
A lot of
Fire.
people have no education, have no idea what they're talking about. But,
true.
you know, I mean, it's true. A lot of people coming up and never. They don't know.
They don't have universal critical.
That's true. They don't know the Earth is round. Right? They have no physical understanding of the universe.
No.
So, in that perception, they may think that hip hop is music. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. Sorry. Yeah, I'm cutting myself off. This is the last Raphael head I'm drinking tonight.
The last of the Raphael brains.
Oh, it got me, man. It got me. Can't help but just want to shoot some
opinions
fire.
on Roth Mail Productions. What? No opinions here, man. That's just like your opinion, man. That we have opinions. Wow, someone would think that.
I have no. Who's saying opinions? I got no opinions. I have facts, man. I have facts. Why did Jarrett Kale?
He said that 4 heads ago.
Why did Jarrett pick Kale as his stage name? Why did Tom pick Cruz, bro?
Well, you know, sometimes you're born with a name that sounds good and you stick with it.
Exactly. 2 syllables, 1 syllable. Think about it. 2 syllables, 1 syllable. Rolls off the tongue. Check out. Check out. It's pretty good. What do we think of Overwatch? Oh, God. Where were you? Where were you, 8-Bit Librarian? We were just
We talked
here.
about it
I can't do it
earlier
again.
on. We gotta
Can't go off again.
Got to
Yeah.
go on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Next subject. We're fishing for subjects in the chat.
If you could spend the rest of your life with either Elon Musk, Roger Federer, or Stacy, who would you pick? Dude! Okay, K-Spang. Who's this guy? Who is this guy?
K-Spang? I
That's
don't
the
know.
hardest question in the history of my life I've ever been asked. I mean, I guess it's actually not hard. The answer is clearly Stacy. If I had to pick one of the 3, honestly, just because.
I think they stopped watching the stream on the.
No,
I think they stopped.
irrelevant. To me. Although I dig the joke. But oh man, come on. One person's like, you've grown half of your life with and knows everything about you and you're comfortable and can spend hours in silence and laugh together. And the other 2 you've never met and you might actually hate them if you actually knew them. So yeah, easy Stacy there. But Elon Musk or Roger Federer, I would pick Elon Musk only because I think that the brain picking there would be more awesome. I have so much respect for Roger Federer for his championness and his dedication, but Elon Musk is the kind of guy that can change the world, and that's
Still watching it there? They're still watching.
still.
They're still watching in the other room.
We're doing okay. No, we're done. I'm cut off. No more Raphael heads for me. I've been told. So we're good.
Yeah, man. When you showed Mike, he had a Sony Red camera. I believe you had an FS700.
Holy, who? What?
If not, what rig did you use the majority of the film? The majority
Kevin
of the
of the
film.
Shire. First
That's
of
right.
all,
Huh.
Kevin. That's pretty observant, Kevin.
So, Mike, the new director, did have a red camera, not a
It's
Sony
not
Red.
Sony Red. Yeah. Just
It was a Red Epic, and I had a Sony FS700, which is what we shot most of the movie on, and is what you're looking at us through right now.
That's correct.
It's the FS700 with the
live streaming with the FS700, man, which is why we look better than everybody on Twitch. In case
You
you're wondering.
look pretty good.
In
It's
case
an
you're
FS700. What do you know? It's pretty good, you know. And so, yeah, the red camera, it chews through batteries. It's, you know, it's a bit more upkeep, so we could use it for that scene. But we wanted more of a run and gun camera. I know that the Red shoots in a raw color space, and you can adjust things like white balance and post and all that, which is very advantageous. But the FS700 we recorded into, compressed 4K right on the Odyssey 7Q, so it's not as much. The bit rate's there, but you don't have the flexibility that you do with the Red RAW. But it was good. It was good. Like, I like the FS700. The global shutter would have been nice, but might only notice that in pans and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Anyway, it looks like a movie, doesn't it? Looks all right. Looks pretty good. I like the new digital camera technology that is available these days because it wasn't around when we were doing the web series. That's for sure.
Just trying to ban Myron from the chat.
Just trying to ban Myron?
Yeah, I said Arcade Fire is overrated. And
Myron said that?
I don't think we have room for the low IQers in the chat. They gotta go. Where's Myron? I'm gonna click him. I'm gonna click you, Myron.
You cried a bit when you saw the Red. Why did you cry? Kingfoot. Because it's so amazing, so awesome. I don't know.
Bong SE2, I do find personally stop at 3, man. Stop at 3. It's a good day at 3. Just pick it up in the morning, man. Absolutely. What made you guys film the post-credit scenes? Says Tony the Gamer DD. Well, nothing made us. We're our own men. We do what we want. No, we knew even at the script writing stage before we went into production, that we knew during production, we knew when the movie was cut that there was something that wasn't 100% satisfied with us with regards to how we left Emma. Mm-hmm. And then as the movie was cut, and we were kind of like, okay, let's wait to see how it feels. And we still didn't feel right. And then we went on the tour, and we still didn't really feel 100% right. But we thought, hey, maybe no one in the whole tour will say a thing about it. And then maybe we're just being paranoid, because that's how it is when you're creators. You're always paranoid. You're always thinking like, ah. Oh. But then on the tour, some people brought it up too, like, it's a bit odd. And we're like, yeah, we got to do something about it. And pretty much, we always knew we should do something about it. And then we went on the tour and had our test screenings, and then it kind of just confirmed that we should do something. That it's just not. It's not perfect enough. It's not left well enough, and it's not that hard of a thing to add something to make it a little bit better.
Yeah,
I don't know if that right?
Yeah, we added a bit of a scene. If if you don't like it, just turn it off during the credits.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm actually a really big fan of the post credit scene. A, I like things post credits, and B, I like the ending. I think that the ultra slow fade to black life goes on ending is a much better ending than ha 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 walking to school, life's great kind of ending, right? It's a much more artistic ending. The first ending is very movie and very big in pop, which actually a lot of the movie is, and it makes total sense with the movie, and that's great, and I think the movie ends really well there. And then you watch the credits, and at the end you get the slightly more artsy, the deeper ending, if you want to read into it that way. Which not only I think is a bit of a solution to some of the issues that some people had with the way their character left, but also just
things don't wrap up. It's like we walk a fine line between like purporting reality and being like, look, this is the way real things are, but also adhering to a storyline structure about satisfying endings and whatever. But I think that like the whole friend zone thing, a lot of people say, oh, it was weird how Emma left, and we didn't wrap up her story with the friend zone and all that. Really, but that's how friend zone stories end. That's like people leave and you're never friends again. Like that's kind of how S happens in real life. Was there a satisfying ending to your last relationship? Was there when you broke up? Like, so you walk that line, but then you also like
you don't want to be No Country for Old Men and
have the No Country for Old Men.
Why did I watch that? Right?
Did the DVD crash or whatever, the Blu-ray crash? Like that was what I thought when I was watching No Country, right?
It is. It's a tough line.
But so there's a middle ground, and I think we did that in the sense that like a lot of people were like, wow, I can't believe she forgave him. And a lot of people were like, I can't believe he forgave her, which is good because it shows that we had a good balance of like, you know, what's going on in a friend zone situation. And like, but that's how, when we were thinking about what do we do with the friend zone thing to kind of wrap it up? Well, life goes on. You know, you never get over that big crush. It doesn't disappear completely. That big crush you had never evaporates. And, you know, you can't exchange a few words and have it completely disappear.
Yeah, you really have to bang it out and go, oh God, it was ill-founded, right? Is that the solution?
Yeah, or you move on, but you kind of still have some hope. And you're like, you know what, this is perfect. We're friends and it's great. And guess what? He's going to go and he's going to date, but he's still going to be there if she calls him. Like that's, you know, I think that's my understanding of those characters. I think he would be there if she called him at 1 a.m. and was like, I need you, Sean. He'd be there in a fucking second.
Oh yeah, Sean would be there, man. I need you, Sean. Yeah,
exactly.
Not much. Two things. What teams, if any, are we rooting for in the NHL playoffs? Sorry that Canadian teams were sucking ball season. None. None. I didn't watch the NHL playoffs at all. Not a single game this season. And that's exactly the reason, and it's depressing. On the positive side, the Toronto Raptors had a deep run in the NBA playoffs this year. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I am from Toronto, or not from, but live in, and appreciated seeing a local team do so well. It looks like they're going to get absolutely blown away in the third round and embarrassed by the looks of it, by the way. But nonetheless, it's energized the city. It's been very cool. But yeah, this has been a depressing year for hockey. Never watched a single playoff game. Couldn't care less. As soon as 0 Canadian teams made it, I just didn't watch. Every team I cheer for is Canadian, mostly. I'll pick some teams based on their story as we get deeper in the playoffs once Canadian teams have been eliminated. But it was a lesson to me this year that apparently, and I didn't even know this, if you told me this beforehand, I would be like, I'm not sure, I kind of like hockey. But no, it turns out that if 0 Canadian teams make the playoffs, I watch 0 games of the playoffs. Learned that myself this year. This is funny. Was it planned for Jeremy in the stretch Hummer to lie in the stretch Hummer exactly like Marty McFly does in Back to the Future? Yes. In fact, that's amazing you noticed that, unless we've mentioned that on... This is Satirius asking. As I lied down in that Hummer, I had on my cell phone, I brought up a picture of Marty McFly lying in his bed and made absolutely sure to make sure that I looked as much like him as possible, given he's in a bed and I'm on a couch-style limo setup. That was very, very intentional, as just a little thing that you can do in those moments to make something slightly cooler. Right?
It's true.
Marty McFly.
And same thing in episode 106 of Space Janitors, where Darby wakes up He's sleeping like Marty McFly.
Oh, yeah, but no one's calling that out, huh?
It's funny. It's the default. It's like if someone's sleeping, it's the default way I think of somebody who's sleeping.
I don't see that question here, but no.
No. But it's funny. Like I thought.
You just want to take it away from me. Right.
No. I don't know. It's overdone now. It's like.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to overdone this thing.
No.
That's cool. No.
It's something I thought was very subtle, but then Allison's mom watched it and she was like, "Jarrett's sleeping like Marty McFly," and I was like,
"I ruined the movie. I ruined the scene."
No. It's a good no.
I didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know. Well, it's the last time I sleep like Marty McFly. Tell you what. It's
It's a good way to sleep. It's totally uncomfortable. But it's a good way to sleep on camera. Yeah. What other questions have we got? Space Jam 2? No. Not seeing that.
No, you thought it was a reference to Space Janitors. You need to watch more shit, man. You need to get out of your house, dude. Wow. Anything audiences have missed as far as hidden references? Yeah. If I go any deeper than that, I would then be revealing maybe the hidden references. But yeah, I was closely watching Twitch chat today just to see if anybody picked up on the really ultra subtle stuff. But I'm pretty confident there's still some really ultra subtle stuff in there. And in fact, beyond that, I think in general, when it comes to discussing the movie on the forums or Twitter or Reddit or whatever, I think there's more macro elements that people haven't really talked about. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I saw that on screen, or oh, haha, look, there's a dick in the background. I mean, the more macro level stuff, I'm surprised that some people haven't discussed. But the movie has only been out for 2 weeks, so
That's true. People have seen it. I don't know, once, twice. Yeah,
an Easter egg
people.
doesn't have to slap you in the face with literally
right.
a visual element on screen. I think sometimes you need to take a step back and ask the where, why, hows of a scene or a piece of dialogue. And
Did you see recently in the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? There was something that was discovered very recently about, I can't remember which boxer, but whenever, I think it was Piston Honda, I can't remember, but somebody, before they do their epic mega move where there's the right time to punch them, you know how Punch-Out works.
The guy in the audience.
The guy in the audience takes a picture
That's
or whatever,
insane.
or just goes up.
You know, he just,
and it tells you, or he does something very subtle.
Yeah.
Like the picture was something else. The picture was a different boxer, but like
Yeah.
he looks down or something, and it tells you the right time to punch.
Yeah. At that moment, you hit punch.
And it's like, wow.
30
like,
years later.
30 years later, someone's still discovering Easter eggs. Amazing, man. I don't think there's that subtle of Easter eggs in the movie, but if you watch the movie in reverse, will you discover hidden messages? No, you didn't go that far this time around.
Captain Magnus at Cooperness. So what did Cooperness say? I love that, like, Jared is a noob and therefore. How about just lose the is a noob and just say my opinion, man? You don't need your I don't need your opinion on my opinion, man. You mean that you're too much of a noob to appreciate my opinion on the payment model ruining what could have been a great thing? You mean that part of it? But regarding the future of Pwnage, what previous cast members would definitely want to be involved? Would definitely want to be involved? If you mean the cast members themselves? That's tough to say, I guess. There's like no cast members I think we've worked with that we wouldn't want to be involved. We've been really, really lucky in terms of who we worked with and how great they've been to work with. But like we talked about previously on the TV show, there's legal problems because the TV show is separate from the web series, and it's not the exact same universe, so the characters that aren't there. And then with the web series, honestly, it just comes down to schedules and availability of the actors. There's everyone, I think, in the web series universe we would absolutely want to work with again. It's really up to whether or not they can make it work, because it's been many, many years, and they live literally around North America, thousands of kilometers and or miles if you live in one of the two countries in the world that still use the imperial measurement system, away from each other. It's not easy to manage that kind of travel and schedule coordination.
Yeah, like even for the movie, like there was a scene we wanted to reshoot for the movie, and like, you know,
we just couldn't.
Joel doesn't live in Toronto, and like he's very busy, and we tried to get him out for months, and you know, it was like, well, we just gotta work with what we have and all that, and so it's very difficult getting people together when you're in different cities. Basically, is the moral of the story. You know?
Yeah, and at this point, honestly, Jeff and I are the only ones left in Toronto of the original cast. So
that's right.
Of the five core, which were Jeremy Kyle, Taji, Dave, Doug, there's Jeremy Kyle left in Toronto, and the rest are either in different countries, farther away, even though in the same country, or literally halfway in the world and have not visited the country in 10 years. So it's the space restrictions and complications are enormous, but not insurmountable.
Yeah, we can get them together every once in a while. But someone's asking, here's an interesting question: if you continue the series, you should have Derek Sweet in the show. We tried to get Derek Sweet in the movie.
We
In fact,
did?
we wrote a role for Derek
We
Sweet.
wrote a role for him. We offered him the role.
offered him
No
the role.
audition. You know what he said? Nah.
He said, no, I can't.
He said, nah,
Can't do it that week.
can't do it. I can't take the time off work that week. So
No. So then we just cast an actor who is
So-
the game store clerk and who was going to be played by Derek Sweet because we wrote the role for him
yeah,
with kind of his like opinions in the character.
yeah. We made it. I wrote it for him,
And he said no.
and he said no.
So we don't resent him for that.
Nope,
you know.
don't hate him at all.
Just
don't wish ill on him and his whole family.
Just don't, you know. If someone's gonna tell us, "Hey guys, you should put Derek Sweet in the show," we'll be like, "Well, we tried.
We couldn't try more than we did.
We tried to get Derek. We
I mean,
tried to work
technically,
around
we
his
could
schedule."
have thrown tens of thousands of dollars. We could have spent 5% or 10 or 20% of our budget getting Derek Sweet in the show. But I mean, there's always something you could do.
He did give us money for the Indiegogo though, so
Exactly.
he really supported.
We're
the
like, here,
project
take your money back
his-
and then some. Be an actor.
But yeah, man,
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. That would be perfect for Derek's as Captain Mega Juice.
It would have been perfect. It would have been absolutely perfect. I know how well Derek could have delivered it. I think it would have just been really, really funny.
But Gavin was great too. Like,
Gavin was great too, man. He did a
Oh,
great
man.
job. Yeah, he did a really great job. We had actually, of all the roles we auditioned for, I think that role had the most people come out that would have done a good job. I think there's at least 3 dudes, so I was like, all of them would have done a great job. Different takes in the role, but none of them would have been like, you know, stinking up the screen. So that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on No Man's Sky? Only let me know when it's multiplayer, bro. Looks beautiful. I did watch a few videos. But, you know, single player, it's just not going to do it for me. Unless I'm wrong, have there been new developments? Even if it's non-distance multiplayer, but I could sit down with my son and explore the universe together, then I'd probably pick it up. But I think it's just like a single player thing, and I just don't know how I'm going to fit that in my life right now. You know? What happened to Pure Package? Okay, first of all, that's a good... That's a good question! We never did a tally. We never did figure out the end of Pure Package. We should declare, as we move into streaming more regularly, we should declare beginning end photos. We should give prizes for Pure Package. I don't know if you can tell, but my pecs are reaching douchebag levels. Like, they're really reaching douchebag levels. I actually have to stop. I just got a POTS
I'm glad my
the,
gut's not visible
on the pecs, but I don't want to be any bigger. In fact, I feel bigger than I want it to be. I feel bigger. So right now I'm in a pure negative calorie cardio sort of mindset. I just got to cut down.
This lens makes your arms look bigger if you put them forward.
Dude, they
Because
do.
we're at 24
Well,
now.
I don't need a lens, man. Like, dude,
Your fist is gonna look huge if you stick it out towards the lens.
Do you appreciate, bro? Do you even appreciate, bro?
You gotta put your.
Dude, I'm benching like 85, bro.
Look at how big my
Like
fist
85, like 8 reps.
It's as big as my face, my fist.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, if stuff, you know, it's like you can do this and be like, look at how big my arms are, because they're so close to the lens.
Charles knowing how to get Jeremy to do what he wants, reverse psychology, and nod to the always-on nature of technology.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose subtly, yeah. You know, it was very, very conscious, right? I think that anybody that is in that position in the world, right, that's the CEO of a major company, has a natural intuition for that kind of behavior. You know, I don't think you can get to be where Charles is at without having an always-on intuition for that. I don't think a lot of the time I don't think that kind of guy's consciously doing it, right? That's just his personality type, right?
Yep.
And Charles is sort of, he takes that to the next level, right? He exemplifies that, and absolutely every single thing about the Charles scene with Jeremy has been planned out. You would think, at least, by him and his brain, right? Everything from where he knows where Jeremy's going to walk, where Jeremy's going to sit. When he makes Jeremy laugh, he knows the contract, Jeremy's going to end up in that chair. The contract's going to be right next to Jeremy. Every single thing in that scene is totally planned out by Charles. He has total control of that scene at every moment, which was... it was very planned. I don't even know if it's so much reverse psychology as it is just a complete understanding of human behavior, which is fundamentally the kind of company he's running, right? The company that sells those types of products, they are relying on an understanding of human nature, right? They're not really actually trying to sell you happiness. They're trying to sell you product based on what you think you need to be happy, right? It's a very big difference. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. And the follow-up question is, how is it working with Tom Pennican? It was really, really great. He's super professional and a super good actor. So there was, through the course of making not just this movie, but Pwnage in general, the web series, when you're working with such tiny budgets, you encounter the full spectrum of actors, right? People that show up and they really give it their all, and people that show up and they haven't read their lines yet. And they just have no idea what they're trying to say, and they just have no idea what they're doing. And so it was just so nice, because we know when we hired Tama to work with them that we had an expectation he was going to show up, he was going to know all his lines, he was going to do a good job, and that's exactly what we got. Was dude shows up, just nails everything, right? He's a pro, and he shows up, and he gave us a variety of deliveries, was super confident, right? He understood what we wanted out of the scene, and it was great. Yeah, he just didn't fuck around. Like, he was a super serious dude, and it was actually really relaxing and refreshing from the producer angle to work with someone like that, considering all the sort of highs and lows we've had over the last 10 years with actors and whatnot. It was really cool. If every actor worked with was like that, I'd be a pretty happy dude.
Sweet, man. Well, maybe it's time. It's 10 o'clock EST.
7
It's been
hours.
7 hours of streaming. Straight. Uninterrupted. That's a big VOD.
That's a big ass VOD.
That
Never
is
went
huge.
down once. Yeah,
Never
I know.
went down. We got the...
By the way, guys, this is being taken down. It'll be taken down tomorrow morning when I wake up. I'll leave it up tonight just for whatever. But as soon as I wake up tomorrow morning, probably around 7, 8 a.m. EST, I'm pulling this down. It's gone forever.
Although we are recording it for us, which will be...
I should say, like, it's not gone for us.
Yeah.
We're going to export and record it. I just mean it's gone for you. This was meant more for the live experience. And
Yeah, there is a lot of value to being here when it's happening, when it's live. And, we talked about this, and I think, you were sort of reiterating the idea of there being some value to being there. And that's a whole experience. And so it might not be easily accessible to see the entirety of the stream later, because we want to add value to being there. We want more people to actually be here with us. But at the same time, we still do want you to be able to access it at some point, right? So we do have it recorded, and we'll figure out what we're going to be doing.
we've recorded every stream, even the ones that have vanished the next day or vanished any number of days later when they disappear. We always export them. We do have a massive archive. Everything we've ever streamed, I think we've lost almost nothing. So there's just dozens and dozens of hours of these streams. I don't know what we'll ever do with them, but they're not gone forever. But at the same time, we do want to actively encourage people to join in on the live experience. I think it's a lot better live. These types of things we're not really making for VOD. We're not making it for the watch whenever you want format. What's amazing about Twitch, what's amazing about this whole thing is that you're here with us in real time doing this. When we think about something we want to make that's timeless in a VOD style, well, that's what Pwnage is for, and that's what making, the linear narrative, a format, right, and telling stories. But this, man, shooting the ass, drinking some iced tea and Raphael cups, we just want to have this be something real time, and I think it adds more value to this if you know it's gone forever after it's over. It makes you kind of want to tune in, right? That's what we're thinking, right?
It's true,
right?
It's true, man.
Adding value by deleting stuff the next day, right?
Adding value by making it harder to watch. It works. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what works. We're experimenting. We're gonna see what's happening in the future.
Thoughts on making Kyle a developer of teledildonics? Given Jeff's passion for the subject, dude.
My passion for teledildonics. I just think it's one of those things like I'll never do, but someone's gonna be a billionaire from it. And you're gonna be like, you're gonna have the thing on your D, and you're gonna be like, I hope whoever invented this has $1 billion because it's amazing. Like you're gonna be thinking that, be like,
Yeah, that's Koch brothers level.
that's
level
like,
billions.
wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Yeah.
that, like, you know, the new young starlet that is yet to exist, that is probably 8 years old today.
Whoa, where's this going?
You know, I'm thinking 10, 20 years in the future, there is some...
This got so dark.
There is,
We're talking about teledildonics, talking about 8-year-olds? What the
I'm
fuck?
talking about when teledildonics are in their prime, out there is some young person who 20 years from now is going to be the teledildonic star.
Oh,
What did you
okay.
think I was talking
I
about?
couldn't imagine what I...
What did you think I was saying? All I'm saying is, dude, you can say somebody 20 years from now
Yeah.
is going to be doing something that they ought not be doing
Absolutely.
today,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
wow, the fine line. All I said was,
We're about to get super dark. I was about to say some super dark shit. I don't know if it was that dark, but I was like, we should probably go. It's been 7 hours. I was going to get in the whole thing about, again, profession changes. We talked about earlier about how maybe I should just give up everything I'm doing and just apply it right for a job or something. And then people talking about teledildonics. I'm like,
I'd be pretty good
I'm not even
as
gay,
a
but I could
stunt-
like a plastic one. You know what I mean? I could probably do a really good job. On the down,
Or-
I could probably do a pretty good job.
Or you could do the whole mirroring thing we talked about, right? So there's like a super hottie who doesn't have the skills, and you're the stunt teledildonic inputter.
Yes.
And you mirror and you just watch someone else and
Yes.
you're like doing this and you're like,
Yes, done tilted. Oh.
and everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, she's the best. Oh, she's so good. But it's really Jarrett Kale doing the teledildonic input.
I have no experience, literally zero, but I still trust I have a good instinct, right?
You think so, eh? You think you've got some good instincts
I know what I like.
when it comes to teledildonics.
I think we should cut the stream.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off.
We're going to roll back
For
4
real.
minutes, and that part will not be preserved for all history.
No, it's a good part.
It's a good part. All right. All right, dudes.
Dude, don't even joke about what you thought I was talking about. Like, it's not, what do you...
I wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see that brilliant Saturday Night Live skit where it was Meet Your Second Wife? Did you see that? It was absolutely genius skit.
No, I didn't. Although I will answer this guy's question quickly
Okay,
because
quick.
he's asked a couple times. How and where was it possible to have the Twitch chat with the movie? Was it going to be together with the DVD or not? Our plan, which was, by the way, was completely off the cuff tonight, after we had the most incredible experience watching the movie with Twitch chat tonight, we thought we should really include that on the DVD/Blu-ray as some type of special features. Now, that is literally as much as we've thought about it. So the logistics and the exact execution of that is to be determined. But we are going to try to make that happen. I don't know how we're going to... I honestly don't know how that will look on screen or how we'll even do it. But I know there's a value in it. I know that it's funny and that it should be done. And I think we're on the same page here. It should be done. So if you're asking about specifics, no fucking idea, dude. No idea. But we are going to try to do that because I think it's hilarious. The chat really added something. Really happy about the chat tonight. Yeah.
Good times, guys. We're going to sign off. This is Ralph Mail Productions.
Yeah.
Beaming you a good night.
I gotta move over here. No, I'm gonna hover over the screen.
We'll do a wave.
Slowly.
And
Bye, guys.
you cut it off in 10 seconds, and it'll be like as soon as we start waving.
That's right.
it'll be
I
cut
love
off.
you guys. Bye. Have a good night.